You ready?
I'm ready.
Your spiritual podcast station, bringing you the uncut, unblocked, and unscripted. This is the only place in the podcast universe giving you a balanced approach and a look at the other side. Everything from A to Z. We are live right now in the 1831 studio. My name is Natia Moore.
I'm Anthony Fliggins.
And this is Pastor Anthony Said. Welcome, everyone, to this episode of Pastor Anthony Said. We are back. Make sure you come on in the room, share, like, and comment. If you're not following us on YouTube, please make sure that you follow our YouTube channel. Share on YouTube and subscribe.
Yep.
How you doing?
Doing all right. Doing yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm sharing myself on my page. Let's see. How was your day?
Busy, but it was a good day. I ain't got no complaints. What about yours?
Same.
Good.
It was a good day. It really flew by. It's like, okay. But it was good. It was a pretty good day.
Good.
Can't complain.
Let's start with prayer. Father, we thank you for grace, for mercy, and for strength. We thank you for your unmerited favor. We thank you for loving us and for keeping us. And we thank you for allowing your peace and your strength and your grace to be upon us. We thank you for giving us another day just to get it right. We give you honor, praise, and glory. Give us meetings. Let us have a meeting of the minds and give us understanding hearts concerning the discussions and the topics that we talk about. And we give you all praise, glory, and honor in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen and amen. All right, good.
Amen. Let's make sure we good right here. Yes. Everything's good.
Good.
All right.
All right, so we missed last week. How you feeling this week?
I'm feeling a lot better.
Good.
Yeah.
Feeling a lot better.
Yeah. I don't know what happened last week. It just was kind of random.
Right.
I think I may have had like food poisoning.
Right.
And it just kind of hit me out of nowhere. I was kind of man down a little bit. Yeah. But I feel better.
Good.
I feel a lot better.
Good.
Getting strength and everything.
You said getting strength.
Getting strength.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Like I actually went to the doctor today, not because of that,
Right.
but I had a doctor point my blood pressure's a little low.
Okay.
So I might be a little dehydrated, but it's fine.
So you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm definitely okay.
Good.
Everything's okay. Everything's all clear.
All right. Good.
Everything was fine.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Everything's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, we missed last week, but we're back.
Yeah, we
this
back.
week.
We back. Everybody, come on.
Come on in.
Tell a family, tell a friend. Come on in. Usually we take this moment to bring up whatever what you talk about, what you think about, you bring about, and what we bring up, we talk about, discuss, and see if we can discover something different to say about it. In terms of scriptures, I often say, we pulling fresh water from an old well, and so sort of the same thing.
Yeah.
We're just trying to find, some old stuff, some new stuff, and and try to balance it all and bring it all together and see if we can come up with a different concept, or if not even a different concept, but another perspective of what we all deal with, so we can give new insight and venture into new places, even if it's in our thoughts.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a good place to be.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Some people actually reached out to me to check on me, and
Good.
I really do appreciate that. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks everybody. How about it?
Feeling pretty good.
Well, good. What's on your mind now?
Oh, I don't know. I'm pretty neutral right now.
Okay.
Thinking about taking in everything just from the week. Trying to just recharging, honestly. I had some changes in my schedule.
Right.
So just really just recovering, recharging.
Right.
Monday now, so I remember you used to say Monday is your day to recover. And normally I wasn't able to do that because I normally would work every Monday. So now I'm off, but I'm recovering from the rest of the week. So
gotcha.
Yeah, that's what I'm just thinking about.
From the previous week.
From the previous week.
Okay.
From the previous week.
Got it.
Yep. So.
Okay. That's
just really just my schedule. Thinking about things like that.
Right.
Trying to clear it out actually right now. I want to think about that.
Yeah. What the schedule?
Yeah, I don't want to think about. I don't want to think about that. No, I don't want to think about none of that right now.
All right. I understand. I know. I get it. So, we know we are approaching Holy Week.
Okay.
Yeah. We are approaching Holy Week, and so we're approaching the time of resurrection. as it pertains to the Christian faith, and to those who subscribe to the Christian faith. We are approaching that point, and how we commemorate and observe these moments. Every year is different. Every year it feels different. Every year feels. There was a sense of a nostalgia about this, a nostalgic feeling about this, and the nostalgic feeling that I feel is sort of changing because I am finding that the young people are finding new ways to, you know what I'm saying, to observe these old days.
Okay.
Yes, and so yes, and it is a beautiful thing. And, you know, opposed to just the 7 last sayings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and then you got the 6 a.m. sunrise service, and then of course your resurrection service. I'm finding people doing certain things. You know, I went to one service a couple years ago, and the service was the day before it was the day before the crucifixion.
Okay.
And so they had like 6 or 7 minutes to speak about what happened, you know, leading up to the actual crucifixion.
Okay.
Yeah. So
they
that
changed
was,
it up, but
So I'm finding this new generation is able to take something that's old and says, okay, we're not going to strip it away from the roots, but we're going to revamp it a little bit, you know, remix it.
Give another perspective.
Remix it. So with another. So I'm finding that. So
nice.
And I'm doing my best to be involved with this, because sometimes you just do the same thing over and over and over again, and you know, it becomes mundane.
Yeah.
And another thing I'm starting to learn is I've grown accustomed to hearing the same voices speak the same 7 last words in the same setting. You get what I'm saying? The same group. And I'm watching, like, y'all call it the same group of people. And I'm saying the same group of people.
Same revelation.
I don't know what another revelation. No. I don't know about that.
Sometimes it's the same.
You know, I used to say that, but I'm honest. I used to say it's the same, but our people are actually, you know, they're actually searching and researching for something to give.
Fresh.
And giving the current state of our economy, the current state of our political system, and what we're going on in all these current events, they are amalgamating those things with old scriptures, and so it gives it a new feel, because we're in an ever-changing world.
Yeah,
it's changing. Things are changing so fast. I put a post about AI. AI in the last year has covered more grounds than computers have in the last 10. AI has covered more ground in 1 year than computers in the last 10.
Yeah.
And we know how many jobs computers have taken. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
AI is going to take more.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to see what's going to happen, and how are we going to manage another generation, and how are we going to handle the workforce, and what jobs you cannot give over to, you know what I'm saying, artificial intelligence.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what jobs right now artificial intelligence won't be able to take and take over in the next 20 years.
Yeah. I know, that they had some crazy numbers, like 50 million jobs or something. Was it that hit like 50 million jobs? I know it was millions of jobs. Just saying it's going to. I honestly think in every aspect of every on the field job, there'll be able to be an aspect of that AI can take over in each of those departments, including nursing, including the medical field.
Okay.
Like, I think that I can't say that they can do the full job, the full capacity.
Right.
But I think all jobs that there is a peak, because there's always that technical part that a computer can kind of do.
Okay.
Like, as you like, now we have these little robots that deliver medicine to the pharmacy in the hospital.
Go ahead.
We have robots that can bring the patients the medication and go over discharge instructions. Like, they can give them, like, there are things that we can do because we do it. We've been used to do it, but there are things that can kind of replace even what we've been doing.
So artificial intelligence is taking over.
For sure.
So what jobs do you think they can't touch or won't be able to touch?
In my field or in general?
In general, just what do you think? Just for the sake of our, let's just put out everybody who's watching. Let me just give me something y'all think AI will not be able to take over.
That's a good question.
It is a good question. So let's say if y'all got some ideas right now, if y'all have something you think AI just won't be able to touch,
Yeah.
just let us hear.
I mean, AI is
What do you
doing
think?
surgeries.
Okay, so will AI
So if they can do surgeries, like what can you say they can't do?
will AI be able to cook?
Yes, for sure.
Okay, will AI be able to cook in restaurants?
For sure.
Really?
Because cooking, I mean, obviously you need to be able to
You
taste.
see?
But
Go for
once you've mastered the taste and you know the
What
specific ingredients, the specific time, you follow the recipe and you type it into the computer,
And the AI just put it
and
together
AI
for
has
you.
it. And I mean, there may be a master chef that comes to just make sure everything is fine before it goes to the people. But
Right.
yeah, like they can
So
do
I
everything.
would I would think like what would AI do? What would AI do if I have to take the food back and I don't? If I can AI?
Yes.
Well, you know what AI can't do.
They can troubleshoot. I
Well,
mean,
we
they
know
can
what
do
AI
whatever.
can't do.
What?
You're right. You're right. They are unable to give artificial intelligent machines. They are unable to give them feeling.
Right.
They cannot feel.
They can't feel.
Now they can't. So we don't know. I don't know.
But
Because they don't
does
have
it
a
matter?
conscience. Yeah, it matters. It matters because if I
Not
say,
human program.
well, if I say I don't like my food, and I would like for there to be a little more. This I don't know why I don't like it. Can you recommend something else? I mean, they can do that, but can you get a sense of what I really feel and what I really want?
Absolutely.
Okay, let me hear it.
I mean, if you order something and you don't like it, and it's like, hey, this is way too spicy,
Right.
or this is bland.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they have a bunch of commands that we
Right.
find, and if not, they'll refer to whoever and they'll fix it.
They'll fix it.
Like I think they would always have to have a human
Somewhere.
like somewhere in the vicinity
Okay.
just in case. But I think for the most part, they will be able to do all of those
Got it.
things.
Will AI? Okay.
I don't think they'd be able to
Go ahead.
do ministry.
I think so.
You do?
Yes.
I mean, I think that they can do
Yes.
it to the capacity of giving certain scriptures and words, but like coming to a church and having like something do a sermon that like no, I really wouldn't be for that.
Holograms. They already doing it.
Yeah, but I'm talking about for like a service, like a whole service. No,
Yeah.
like,
Get
I'm
up,
not,
sing 3 songs.
Yeah, I don't want to
Hand
do
it
that.
to this, hand it to that. Yeah, and people
not
sit
with
there
that.
and listen.
Yeah.
And they doing it now. They just doing it online. So so people go online and listen
That's
to the services online.
Yeah, but it's not.
I was saying the same thing about food, but go ahead.
How?
Because you're talking about the feeling. It's not something that's missing.
Yeah, but the food
ahead.
is different because people, even today, like when people go to wherever they go, the fast food, the Chick-fil-A, wherever it is like that stuff is already prepared.
Yeah.
You
So
put it in there.
so is the word and the music and all this.
It would be your preference then. It would be your preference for the
So-
word. I'm not saying that they can't prepare. Sure, they can prepare it, but
Yeah.
do you want it?
I'm saying the thing about food. Do I want it?
Yeah, people want it.
Okay, and then people want this. People got to be wanted because what we're saying is. So I am not talking about what you prefer and what you don't prefer, but what
Can it be done?
can it be done?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Will it be done? Yes.
Yeah.
But
Already being
what, already being done.
Yeah.
So what jobs you think they will not be able to take over? I said cooking, but we sort of dealt with that. Another job I think would be another job I think I would say construction. Because sometimes when you get in construction, sometimes you find yourself in places where you have to think. You have to be a little more creative.
Critical thinking.
Critical thinking, especially when it comes to rehabbing old buildings. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to new construction, yes, things can put together. You can put together a new car. But when it comes down taking something old and making something new out of something old,
Right.
I'm not sure.
People
if they,
take an assessment like other
yeah,
humans.
yeah, okay, yeah.
But once it's
something like that.
programmed.
But once
Like,
it's programmed,
that's
that's
the
right.
thing.
But see, if it's so
it's-
it's true. Once it's programmed, it may be able to do that. But there is still something that I don't think AI will be able to
think
do
so.
when in terms of trying to find something that actually works. In terms of
Okay.
retrofitting something, and that's what I'm getting into. So if you're taking something old and placing it inside something new, or making it work, or giving it that feel. Yes, AI can. I guess we're talking in his infancy. So of course, as you get older,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, or what's the word, older? Yeah, as it grows, of course, they're going to answer all these questions. So yes, so I'm pretty sure what I'm saying they can't do, one day they will do.
Be able to do. They will
So
do.
yes, so
I mean,
that's it.
even now that I think about it, like when I think about certain movies, because I always believe that
Oh,
they
yeah,
show
yeah.
movies and about what is going to happen. But certain movies now, you see like the computer software, even looking at the human, and they can tell the percentage of the emotions and the percentage of this
Right.
and the amount. Even with a building, like they could.
Yeah, they
look
can
and
do
see
that.
like this
Yeah.
percentage is like this is hollow,
Yes,
this
yep,
is like this.
yep.
Fill this part.
Yeah.
And even if I think they will always need a human being
Somewhere
for either the general assessment, to give it direction on what exactly to do.
Right.
But I do think it won't be a big need for.
I don't
humans.
think computers will take over sports. I don't think
Yeah.
AI will take over sports. Not
Yeah, I
computers.
don't think so.
AI will take over
I think
sports.
they might leave that alone.
They might leave AI.
But they
may
will
leave
be-
entertainment, the Olympics.
They'll distribute though. They'll let them be the distributors of like the popcorn and the stuff and
Oh yeah, okay.
stuff
The
like
concession
that.
stands, concession stands. Yes.
But not the
Not
actual
the
players.
nah.
That would be too
That
much.
would always be. You know, that's so. Sports started. Homer's Iliad,
Okay. Yes.
700 BC.
Mm-hmm.
That's when.
yeah,
Yeah. You're going to school, right? You got some things.
They're like, oh yeah, Iliad.
So
yeah,
that's
I
when
remember
Homer's Iliad. During those times, the Greeks
That's funny.
introduced sports into, you know what I'm saying, the culture and the customs on the weekends. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
yeah. So that's when sports really came in. So you're talking about 700 BC, 2,000 years after. So sports have been here for 2,700 years
that. Wow.
in the form of entertainment. Sports has been here 2,700 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that's going to be tampered with. I don't think
hard.
sports. It's
hard to
hard.
say. I think that they can if they wanted to. I think people would be
I
entertained
will not
with
be entertained with seeing with a
with
robot
seeing
man
robots,
trying to dunk because it's
different teams.
because it's a
You would
perfect.
ensure number one that they would not be injured. You would not have to pay you would not have to pay the players
As much money, yeah.
It is entertaining because we've never seen anything like this.
I don't
And
think I want to
eventually-
see it.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to see it because we've never kind of seen it. But I think once they put it into our consciousness, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, it's like, okay, what is that? You know, I think that they would creep it in, and then it would become a thing. It
Yeah, I
might
don't
start
want to.
small,
I
and
don't
then
know. I don't want to see Rock'em Sock'em robots.
I don't
The
either.
boxing, boom.
I don't
your
either,
head
but
come
I
up.
believe
Nah.
it could be a thing.
I don't wanna see
I think
that.
anything is possible with this.
With this
honestly.
thing,
Yeah, I
yeah.
feel like they can do whatever.
Yep. So I don't think. So right now we're talking about in its infancy, entertainment. I say cooking, but you say otherwise. I say construction. We already disputed that as well. That is debatable. What else do I think AI will not be able? AI are doing surgeries.
They are doing some surgeries.
They are doing some surgeries.
Some surgeries. They like assist with certain
Yeah,
surgeries.
with surgeries.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because they have like they're able to detect certain things like with is there more blood in on, you know what I mean? Is this person potentially going to bleed out if I cut this
Okay,
vein?
okay,
Like
okay.
they can see they can see it.
Got
So,
you.
Yeah, they assist in like a lot of surgeries. They can easily pass medication.
Easily
pass medication. I mean, they
Got
can
it.
easily do education with patients. They
Okay.
can easily give injections.
Okay. Driving, yes, because we already got.
Oh,
we already
yeah,
got
for
cars.
sure.
Driving is taking over the driving.
Yeah. It's
So
just-
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, no, I don't want to change the narrative. We'll talk about it
Go
after.
ahead. So,
yeah.
but Elon Musk said there will come a time when we will have to give a social. Elon Musk said there will come a time where we will have to start paying out a social income monthly to everybody because AI will take over all the jobs. So in order for people to survive, he was saying there would have to be a social system. A social system, like you give out checks, like they give out the poor checks, not the poor, but they give out people who are
like social-
in need.
social-
Social service. Yeah, social service. So they're right now giving out social services and needs to people once a month.
Yeah.
Elon Musk said there's going to come a time when the whole world will need that kind of social service. And he is now working on a project now to figure out how much, to pay people monthly, not weekly, monthly, in order for them to survive in an artificial intelligent world.
Wow.
That's serious.
That is.
That is serious. That
That's
is
crazy.
serious. So this is where the world is going. This is where the world is going. And so what are we preparing our children for? And that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to. That's what
What
I'm.
will
Yeah.
people do?
What will people do? What will people do? Well, first thing they think, I think, so this is just the think in mind here. The first thing I think they would do is smaller houses.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're larger houses, family would start living together a little bit longer.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that
Finding
families,
passion, like finding their real passion.
no, just families just living. Oh, you
No, I'm
talking about
adding,
another? You
yeah,
talking about something
yeah.
else now?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, go ahead.
No, I thought you was done. I was just
Oh
adding
no,
another.
I was saying families you got to stay home longer because independence will be a little bit
Yeah.
tough. So you know what I'm saying. So they're going to probably make
babies.
3 buildings but 3-unit, 3-unit homes. You know what
But
I'm
then they
saying?
would make more babies if they're home more.
less.
I think they would make more if they're
Not-
home. If the whole everybody's home.
Well, people are, but okay, well, people will know that we have a smarter world, and in a smarter world, I think people will probably have more sex,
Yeah, and make more
but
babies.
less babies
I think they're going
because the population is dropping.
Yeah, but I think
among
that
certain people.
I think with more time together, they would.
You
probably
think so?
if you don't have anything else to do, if you can't work, I mean, if you're not really working,
Yeah,
how you
I
need
don't know, but
just
that's
think-
kind of it's old way of thinking, and
I
that's
don't think so.
You don't
I
think
think that
so?
if people had more time, I think they would be making more babies. Now have more
Okay.
income, have more this, more that. But we kind of, to me, just been programmed that we shouldn't have. We can't afford. If you can't afford it, you shouldn't have so
they
many
wouldn't be
children.
able to afford it.
But
So you're raising children in a world they can't afford to live in.
they getting a monthly income. They really would have nothing to. I mean, if you're getting a monthly income to survive and take care of all of your needs, and the only thing you have to do is live in a house together with your mate and your children you already have. I mean,
Yeah. So my thing,
Why
my that's a good idea. That's a good point. My thing will also be the need for inflation.
okay,
So it won't be because inflation won't because the computers, the AI is actually cheaper than actual human labor. So now you ain't got nobody getting a raise or anything else like that. You're just making sure that that the actual whatever robotic system is in place and however it works, whatever. You got all those things in its rightful place. Then what? So now you're talking people not being employed. You're talking a workforce without wages, bringing the cost of everything to a minimum.
I just can't imagine what that would look like. Like I'm just trying to figure out
It's-
what is
it's
that.
happening. It's happening.
Like, what is that, though?
It's
Like-
happening. And everything. And so whenever, and if you go back in history, when things begin to get better in history, when they're better in terms of new inventions and new technology and science, then the culture was elevated. So when people got more time, for themselves, they really put time in culture.
Okay.
So every time there was a rise of something new in the world, whatever time that was, the culture began to be the main thing. The culture was sort of the playground of the society.
Okay.
This is when the Roman road was built.
Okay.
While the Roman road was built, and aqueducts and flowing and running water, because you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
you don't have dirt roads no more.
Right.
You know something. You got roads with a concrete.
So you mean it would be advancements? And,
See, with those advancements,
yeah.
yes. So people didn't have to do as much as they did to travel, to work, to do anything else. They put a lot of time in culture, and that's when those coliseums was built.
Yeah.
And then you got the gladiators, and they start
Yeah.
killing each other and feeding. They had nothing else to do.
So
you get what I'm
people
saying?
would
Yeah.
just advance in other things,
The
random
culture.
culture
The
things.
cultures, it'll
Yeah.
just be culture.
I mean,
what
that's
I'm saying?
really strange. That's not.
That's-
I don't. Should we be advocating for this not to happen? Like,
what's happening?
Like,
You know what?
cancel this.
My.
What about pilot? A pilot.
That's good.
They probably could
good.
do it,
because
but
you
I
got-
wouldn't really be comfortable
because you got
with that.
automatic. Sometimes you
the
got
switches. You can put it on autopilot, right?
Autopilot. Yeah. So that may be next. So you get on the airplane,
not
and I
getting on
give your
there.
life.
To a robot.
Yeah. Buckle up.
Public transportation,
Public
everything.
transportation.
Because it's already.
It's happening.
That's weird.
It's happening. So there would have to be that. There would have to be that kind of system. There are positive and negatives.
Okay.
This
Let's go to
could
'em.
eradicate poverty, world poverty,
Okay. How so?
because again, you are removing the wage element from the actual GDP, from the actual income, from the actual economy. And that's where most of the money is actually going, to paying the people to do it. But you're removing that. So now you got all this money. The however is not making it.
What are they going to make people do for that money?
That's my point. They won't be able to do anything.
They won't be able to do. They won't be able to do.
Yeah.
They won't be able to do anything. But we know.
What?
At least I think I know.
What?
That they would not really just hand out checks just for you to survive, because they have eliminated all the things that you can do. Like,
Right.
it almost to me would become like slavery again.
How would it be like slavery?
Like, because it's like, it's nothing for you to do. You have to earn your wage some kind of way. I don't know what.
You think so?
Yes, I don't think that they're just going to be like, for example, like with the stimulus or whatever. Like, that was the one time. I don't think it's going to be like every month, like, hey, pay your bills, everybody. No. Like, I think it's going to come with some strings attached.
I think the only string attached would be a political string.
Like what?
Like if you are voting for this party, you may get this. If you're voting for another party, or
like bribery?
Oh, not bribery. No, because that's part of the system anyway. But I'm thinking I just think it would have some type of political strand to this, or some kind of religious strand to it, or some kind of these different decisions that you have to make in order for you to survive. And get the wealth or the check that you need. And a lot of people look in the Bible and say, well, this is the signs of the time, at the end times.
Oh, of course. Everything that happens is the sign of the time.
Oh, the mark of the beast coming. And so you know what I'm saying? So I understand that element. And this could be the pro-drama to, that element that's facing us. So I think we will begin to see this. The work may be in space.
I just can't. Yeah, they already are. Now we know that.
The work may.
You mean the work for humans?
Yes. The work for humans may be in space and space travel. The work for that. It may be so something else. Into that. Yeah. So it's going to be something when I'm talking the next 40 to 50 years.
Because they're talking in the next 10 years for this transition with the job situation. Within 10 years, millions of jobs are going to be lost with AI.
Yes.
Just in 10 years. So
just in 10 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I just don't see them giving anybody anything for nothing.
It's not nothing.
It is. I mean, it is. I mean, don't get
me wrong. You can't work for it. You want to work.
You want to work, but you can't
because they take
right.
So it's not nothing.
It's going to be some kind of gimmick or some kind of something that.
So what is the gimmick? Let's use what we are. So let's use what we already have. The social service system. So what's the gimmick to the social service system? Because they do give out checks for nothing for some people. Not everybody, for some people. They do give out checks for nothing. Mm-hmm. And so what is the gimmick with the social service system?
For that, I don't really want to, I don't want to be offensive, but
so let's just go. Let's draw from history. Okay. So it's called the Big Deal or the Great Deal.
Okay.
Which one of those presidents did that right after the Depression? The Great Depression. Oh my God, Roosevelt, I believe is Roosevelt, y'all. Y'all political buffs, people know me. I think it was Roosevelt.
Some of y'all was living.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. That's 30s. I don't know. No. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. So they would know about, and anyone else who did that, who didn't go to sleep in history class or political science, y'all please chime in. But it's during the Great Deal. What
was it called?
It's called the Great Deal or the Big Deal, but it was right after the Great Depression.
Okay.
So if I'm not mistaken, right after the war, World War II.
You keep talking, I'll find it.
Okay, good. Right after World War II. During those times, they put together a social service system. A lot of times, they said the social service system was put together to sort of pay for
Franklin Roosevelt.
Franklin Roosevelt. There you go, right there. Franklin Roosevelt.
Ding, ding,
right
ding,
ding.
I'm going to get a bell.
I said Roosevelt. No.
Not today, but I wanted to put the bell for when it's like.
Franklin Roosevelt. So y'all check out, some of y'all go and check out because the answer to the future is in the past.
Okay, for sure.
The answer to the future is in the past. And so if you
somebody said workforce programs.
Workforce programs, good.
Yes, okay.
So what you mean workforce programs? What's that? Help me out.
I think that was in regards to tell us again, Nick, with the workforce programs. Tell us about that.
Please help us.
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
Yep. So with this being said, they put together this social service program for a lot of the people who are poor. But for certain people, when they said for certain people, when America get a cold, they say Black America catch the flu. They said when America get a cold, Black America catch the flu. So we were so far behind. I would call, let's just use for normal vernacular. We were so far behind the 8 ball. We were so far behind the education and those political systems that it was almost impossible for us to even get up. Okay. So they put a system in place to at least keep us from falling back into nothingness, so to speak.
Okay.
And now they put the system in place, and we took advantage of these systems, but it had its positives and its negatives. So they did start passing something out, free check. They don't have free checks, but they did start passing out the monies, what we would call free money, but it's social service. It's big government. You know what I'm saying? Big government. You know, and big government is more Democratic than it is Republican. Go for what you got to say.
I'm sorry. No, I mean, but with that comes with like the mental slavery and the chain. Like it almost keeps people on a chain. I've seen people literally for example, there's certain programs that you can't qualify for unless the parent of your child is on child support.
Or the
right?
dad's not in the house.
The dad is not, or if he's not in the house. Mm-hmm. And so there literally are people that try to beat the system or not even beat the system, but practice that, and they separate the family. You know what I'm saying? In an effort to retain these budgets or these funds that they get only if there's a father not in the house. I mean, it just kind of keeps us in this slavery mindset.
What's the alternative, and what percentage of people that are actually doing it? Because I do believe that they also look at those percentages.
People do it.
But what are the percentages based upon the people that are not doing it?
I don't have those numbers.
Yeah, I know, and I think the percentages are not significant enough for us to make any change in that.
We wouldn't even. It would be hard to kind of. Well, I guess it wouldn't be hard to poll. It wouldn't be hard to poll. It wouldn't be hard to poll if they polled those numbers. But in order to get like certain, of course, like child support, but vouchers.
Yeah.
You can't have the father in the household.
It's true, but
so if that's the stipulation, then all we have to do is look at the numbers of how many people are getting child care vouchers.
Right.
Which is a lot.
Yes. But but juxtapose that to how many that are actually working.
Yeah, but that's still a great number though. It's not like 5. Like it's a significant number.
If it's 3 out of 10, if it's 3 people, if it's 3 out of 10, let's just use if 10 is, Nick said something back.
Yeah, Nick.
What did he say?
He said so. He first said, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong person.
Oh.
This is Nick. Oh no. Okay. Workforce programs, and that's in place through social services for those who are able to work. And that's what social services was designed for, to break up the family. Absolutely.
Wait a minute now. He's saying social services was designed.
This is the lady, Nick.
Okay. So, hey, Lady Nick. So social service was designed. She said social service was designed to break up the family.
That's what she said. Social services was designed to break up the family. She first started with the workforce program, so she was referring to social services when she said that. Yeah. And she said it's in place through the social services program for those who are I guess unable to work.
Yeah. So go ahead.
And she just followed up with that's what social services was designed to break up the family. She agrees.
So I don't think it was designed to do that.
I do.
I think and yes, of course. And a lot of people believe that. I thought that at first. Your phone froze?
No. I was looking at that.
So I thought that at first, and that's, I mean, the proof is in the pudding, by the way. So a lot of families do break up because of this, and a lot of families are broken because of this system. Is that it's a flawed and broken system? Because you have a lot. It's a flawed and broken system?
Yes.
Well, so what's a complete system? Because
we don't know what it looks like.
We do know what it looks like. Again, if you go back and
you've
never seen a complete.
I don't think we've seen. I think we've seen what we've been shown. Like what we've been shown, I don't think it's actually a complete well-run system. I mean, it's well-run, but I don't think it's like I think it's corrupt, but I mean,
You're giving. Okay.
Maybe
I'm asking the wrong. Maybe I'm asking. Okay. So is it doing more harm than good, or is it better? Is it doing more harm than good? Put it that way. Is this system doing more harm than good? Because every system has its flaws. Every system has its flaws. Is there more people benefiting from this than people are being than there are people being hurt by this? I believe that more people are benefiting from this than being hurt by this. So we are looking at the demographic that are being hurt by it, but do we know how many people are actually being helped by this? And if we do measure it to take a sort of a census, the census to see, you know what I'm saying, who's actually being helped and who's not, because after the war, a lot of men came home, minds messed up. I mean, during those times, during the war, it was like, how many people died? More people died during the war than any other time in the world. It was almost like, it was hundreds of thousands a minute dying in World War II. So we were just losing hundreds of thousands per minute now. I ain't say an hour, a minute. And so the numbers are crazy during World War II. Okay, so now you got to after all that stuff, you got to put everything back in order.
Yeah.
You got to bring the soldiers back home. You got women without their husbands, with children. During the 30s, you know, up until the 50s, in some states, y'all listen to this, everybody. Y'all got to know how close we are to our past, so we understand where we're going in our future. In the 50s, there were some states that would not allow women to work without getting permission from their husbands. That was just in the 50s. My father was born 1954. My mom born 1958.
Yeah, that's
so
real.
In the 50s, there are some women. In the 50s, there were women who could not work unless they got permission from their husbands to actually work.
For sure.
And so if this is what was going on
I know,
then,
Nick. I'm sorry.
So if this is what was going on, if this is what was going on in those times, now you got a whole labor force full of women and a whole lot of men that's coming back from the war messed up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hurt, wounded.
But
go ahead.
But they would owe them that because they served. Like that's the least they could do.
I'm not
with the benefits and all of those things.
I'm not negating that.
Okay.
I'm just saying, did it do more harm than good?
Well, in that case, I don't think that's the same situation.
Well, why?
Because they served the country, and so if lives were lost and families were then broken as a result of the war,
you do know that's still part of that social service program, though.
I know that that's a portion, but I can't say that like currently right now.
No, we talking about after World War II.
I know, but we're still comparing what we just now when we were having this conversation, we were referring to like the current state.
I'm not talking about that no more.
See, we were. With the rest of us, we are.
No, we were just talking about the labor force and what happened during Roosevelt. Where are we out here?
Right now, you mentioned Roosevelt, but
history.
Initially we were talking about the current state of social service, and we were in the now.
So we're not back there no more.
No, you just turned back there.
I'm still back there.
Okay, so we can move there. We're both places.
See, where are we? So I know because the what's going on then is not what's going on now, and that's why I brought up in the 50s.
It's not. That's why I'm saying that.
So where are we?
So you're now talking about what happened as far as World War,
50s.
right? And
40s.
And I'm saying that's fine. They owed them that, but in comparison, it's not the same. I thought that you were comparing the two.
No. I'm trying to answer today by looking at yesterday.
Right. And so that's what I'm trying to see. How are you answering it? Let me let you finish.
So the thing was, did it do more harm than good? That's what it was.
Right. So you bring home what you're saying because I'm trying to figure out how does that answer it?
How does that answer?
How does yesterday answer today?
Because we don't know how we're going to move forward unless we look in the past.
Right. But how does yesterday in regards to social services answer the problem with today's
because social service is what Elon Musk was saying that we're going to have to get for the future. So since we don't know how it's going to look in the future, let's look in the past. And that's why I went back there. Because we don't know how, because we're trying to figure out what would it be like in the future. So we don't know.
So, but if he's recommending that and you're saying, look at what happened in the past.
Look at that so we can answer.
The past had a different rationale behind it in regards to like why they had to do it in the first place. Currently, with people not necessarily having to go to war or anything like that, but basically their jobs are being taken from them. They don't have a current job. I can't see the rationale in them giving away the money without something like drastic happening, like a war. That, don't get me wrong, I understand that it would take away all of the jobs, right? Or most of the jobs. But I just don't think they would give away anything for free. Even though they're taking it away, I feel like it would be used as a form of control in some kind of way. Like, I don't think they would just hand out because they took away the jobs. Okay, well, we took away the jobs, so everybody it just doesn't make, I don't think that makes sense.
And that's good. But so now what would make sense?
As far as the financial situation?
Yes, I'm trying to answer a question without saying I don't know what to. I'm trying to answer it.
Right, but
so
I don't think that
make sense?
I don't think that necessarily answers it.
We're trying to find the answer.
Okay, let's find it.
So
I don't think that's the one.
You don't think that's? I know it's not the answer.
Okay.
But this is how we're gonna come up with an answer.
Okay, go ahead.
And so how do we find the answer? So what is my answer? So the way I'm trying to locate the answer, and I'm doing this on the spot, is by just reviewing what we've done to see what can happen, what would happen, and what should happen. By looking at the past, springing back to the past, so we can at least gauge and see how this is going to work in the future. So what I'm looking at is what happened, when did it start? So when did social service start? How did it start? Why did it start? Something happened, the Great Depression. So if we don't break down the Great Depression and get an understanding of what happened in the Great Depression and the banks closing, the stocks and all the stuff like that, all these things going on, then we had the world, America, the whole world. As America goes, so does the world. We have all these things that were sort of being developed. What else was being developed? The interstate highway was also being developed. So what you have is something called big government. Government was small before then. Right after Roosevelt came in, Roosevelt brought in what is called big government, where the government took care of the people. So when the government took care of the people, it took care of the people because the people were unable to work. Now, why were some people unable to work? Blacks were being marginalized. What's what I'm looking for? Blacks were being just the racial. You know what I'm saying? The racial epidemic and pandemic was going on, and so there wasn't fair treatment of African Americans. You got a whole group of people who could not fight, who could not work because of the war. And then you have the psychological damage that comes from war and from all these other, you got all these elements that I really cannot pinpoint. I can only generalize and saying, okay, how are we going to keep our society fed, F-E-D? Just keep food on the table. Let's just keep clothes on back. How do we handle developing a society, a free society, free and fair society, so they say, that will handle the needs of the people coming from World War II. Look at that system. They threw together, I don't want to say threw together, they put together a social service system. They did give out money. Some of the monies they gave out, certain people, we say, that took advantage of it. Yes, people will take advantage of it. Yes, people took advantage of the stimulus program. And so we see that. But it did more. It was better. The actual stimulus program was more of a benefit than it was a detriment. And there were some people who took advantage of the stimulus program and are sitting in jail for it right now. So there are some people, but most people did well with their stimulus checks. So yeah, did well. What I mean by that is more businesses open during that time than any other time, which created a gap in the actual job system. Now people don't even, it was a time when they was trying to find people to work. People didn't want to work.
They still don't.
They still don't want to work. And you want to know why they don't want to work? Because a lot of those people took their stimulus checks and took their money when they weren't working and started their businesses. So it did good. Go for it. And that's what I'm saying. They got pros and cons. And so I'm just trying to weigh the pros and cons.
Okay, so
basically what I'm saying.
Now bring that to today.
Now bring this to today. Today we have Elon Musk. Anthony Flickers didn't say this. Elon Musk saying AI is going to take over everything.
Yes.
And he said we're going to develop a social service system for the world. I think he said, if I'm not mistaken, $1,000 a month. I think that's what he said. A world, because it seemed crazy now, but again, without the labor force and the labor pay, that's not in the equation.
Okay.
So cars don't cost as much when you don't have to pay human labor $45, $55 an hour to actually put a car together. Houses don't cost that much if you don't have to pay a carpenter $50 an hour. You know what I'm saying? To build your actual house, and just you know what I'm saying. So that wage element is not within the program, because we have computers doing it, or well, artificial intelligence doing it. And so if you remove that from it, things shouldn't cost as much as they do today.
Okay.
$1,000 would be a lot of money worldwide.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. So I am saying that, will this work moving forward? And will they give you money? Because that was the conversation. Will they just throw money at you?
No. Not without an
Not
attachment,
without something attached to it.
in my opinion.
Okay, that's beautiful. So now let's ask the question, what would be the attachment?
That's a good question.
Well, if you go back in...
Comments too when you're done.
Okay, good. Well, if you go back in time, it was the Democrats. I'm going back to answer forward.
Okay.
It was the Democratic Party that was for big government.
Okay.
The Republican Party come along and said, you know what, y'all got to go to work. Pick yourself up by your bootstraps and get out there and make it happen. You know, you're not going to have any pride in yourself. You're not going to have any self-worth, self-value unless you get out there and get it. That's the Republican mindset right there. The Democratic Party saying, hold up. How can you tell me to lace up my bootstraps when you took my boots? Give me some boots first.
Right.
Give me something to work with, and then I'll be able to lace up my bootstraps. But if I don't have no boots, don't tell me to lace up my bootstraps. And that's how the Democratic Party thinks when it comes down to these social programs. That's what they think, and that's their mindset when it comes to the social programs. That's still the argument today. Because when you got a Donald Trump running who is simply saying, you know what, we can cut all those social programs and take money from social programs and put it into something else. And then what is that other thing? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So blase. So I don't know how it worked there, but let's hear it.
I think that I mean, as far as an exchange, I have no idea. I don't know exactly what they would come up with. Besides, the only thing I could think of is some other form of like slavery, like testing, like being able to be available for all type of little weird tests that the government wants to run, and giving organs and selling thoughts and memories, and just like something closer to getting the artificial intelligence to be more intelligent or feel more, or really, you know, some kind of way be able to almost capture or snatch the inner of a person, even though it doesn't sound like realistic.
I'm listening. I'm trying.
I just really believe that they are going to find a way to capture that, even if it's just the study of people. Because I mean, anything we study, I mean, anything that's studied can kind of be replicated to a certain amount of let me finish.
I'm trying
can be replicated. So if I'm studying something so much and I master it, I kind of can become it if I want to. And so even though this is a machine, this is different, you know, variations of these things. Like I believe if the human is studied so much, I mean, they're clearly already doing the jobs that we've, you know, gone to school for years to do. It can be programmed in a matter of a few buttons. So yeah.
Can I cut you off?
I mean, you've already cut me off.
I have to cut you off. You know, respectfully. You just described social media. So you don't have to be a believer no more.
Yeah, for sure.
But you say, I believe this is going to happen.
But
this is already happening. They already studying you.
But to another level.
This is the level. They studying everything. And that's how they came out with AI.
Exactly. But to another level. To the point where
they mean movie level?
No, I'm talking about as far as the feelings that you were talking about. Like you don't feel like it can feel. But I feel like with more study, it will be able to really understand feelings and grasp those different temperatures that our body's going to be able to feel and interpret what we're saying. So I think that it would be almost like an exchange of the human race in general.
You just described social media.
Yes, I understand that.
I'm trying.
But what I'm saying is with time, I believe that there will be more in depth. Like if we think that that. No, like it's going
Like
to
what?
progressively.
Let's hear this. I got to hear this.
I believe
I
it's
really
going
got to
to.
hear this.
I believe it's going to progressively get even more intense to like you said, in regards to the feelings and things like that. Like they'll be able to seem as though it has feelings. Like, for example, right? Let me just use this since it was coming up in my mind, even though you probably come against it.
No.
But everybody's seen them.
See, I knew it was TV. I knew it was coming.
Because
it's television.
Well, because I'm a writer and I like it.
And creative.
I'm a creative, so this is what's popping to my mind. So with Megan, anybody ever seen the movie Megan? Okay. Megan was a movie about, it was artificial intelligence, right? Hello? Don't get quiet now. Artificial intelligence. And Megan was a doll. She was a robot, but the people that she were talking to, you would almost think that she had feelings. She was able to answer your questions with heart, to the point where the people that she was talking to were crying. Like, she was able to literally find everything about this person, like, in the conversation. So what I'm saying is, if something can already do that, it would just be more and more advanced to the point that you may not be able to tell, like, a human from some type of artificial intelligence at all. Like, at all. At all.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
Whatever. All right, so the comments were, it's fine. The comments are...
Because when you were thinking about Megan, I was thinking about Chucky. We already had our form of Megan.
No, the Megan is different. So Chucky was possessed. Hold on.
It was an advanced form of Chucky.
Chucky was possessed by a spirit.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Megan was not. Megan actually was artificially intelligent. Like, she was implanted with emotions and feelings and tears. Like, she wasn't, it wasn't a spirit. Like, she literally was manufactured to be able to develop these things based off of study of the human race. So with time, it can only, I mean, even down to her skin, like everything, like they made her human. So in 10 more years, 50 more, that's what I'm saying. Anyway, it wasn't like Chucky. She was definitely different from Chucky. You must ain't seen the movie. Like, you ain't seen the movie.
That's y'all form of Chucky. Go for it.
So Nick said, first of all, hey Nick, I didn't even realize that was you. Hey girl. Looking at the past and going to the future, there's going to be some stipulations. So she was commenting when you were saying, like, using the past to answer for today.
Just to find the answer.
Oh, to find the answer.
Yes. How do we locate answers? Because so the way I look at something is, the way I look at a thing is, and thank you, Nick. And the way I look at a thing is, so when I look at when you look at someone's behavior, mm-hmm. and your behavior, and you're trying to figure out, who you're dealing with. Generally, you keep looking at what they're doing over and over again. And when the person shows you who they are, when they first show you who they are, believe them.
You should believe.
Well, the first is past.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at your past behavior
mm-hmm.
to determine what you're going to do in the future. Now, you say you're going to change and everything else like that, but if this is what you're going to give me, then this is what I have to go by. I can't go by you saying, I'm going to start doing this. Well, I've changed my life to do that. Okay, yes, you said it, but it hasn't happened yet.
I don't know if this is a good example.
Yes, I mean, that's
because it's so short term. Like,
what you mean? It don't matter if it's 20 years, 100 years, or 1,000 years.
Okay.
It can be 5,000 years.
All right.
So if we just go back in time, and I'm trying to figure out how we're going to move forward. If you say to me, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna look at you and say, okay, but I'm gonna have to watch a pattern of behaviors to determine what you're going to do next. So all I'm doing is looking at the pattern of our behaviors
mm-hmm.
as a society to look at as to what we're going to do in the future, and how we're going to handle some of these things in the future. So I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but as leaders,
mm-hmm.
having these discussions is important because it's important for our children.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't like to leave important discussions in Never Never Land.
Right.
In the land of, well, no. Mm-hmm. At least attempt to say, okay, because this is the place where my children
true,
will be.
But if we kind of don't, certain things, like if you give some of these things that just don't, Like, don't get me wrong, I understand that Elon, what's his name? Musk.
Elon Musk.
Yeah, Elon Musk. That he he proposed that basically we would have to go to social services. But again, and I understand your rationale from going to the past because of what has happened in regards to the war and things like that. But if we are saying that we want to propose that same thing because of the current situation, like with AI, it just seems like it would be difficult to place that, like the rationales would be like just completely different because I just don't see how it can be justified. Like, for example, the war had, the rationale was because they were owed those things. For this, what can they say that they owe us? I mean, besides just like snatching the jobs, and so we just left like with nothing. So they would just give it, and that's just, and it based off of what we see in the world, that nothing is free, nothing is just given in that way. In regards to this, like, it's just hard to see that they would just hand you over money once a month for the rest of your life in exchange to let the robots or the whatever, the AI just run the world.
I'm agreeing. I'm saying, what will the exchange be? And I don't want to leave it with.
I said it.
I don't want to. Yeah, you said it. You just said the exchange would be. You have to. They're gonna get into your soul, make you.
That's not what I said. And stop doing like this, like I did that, because I didn't do that.
All that dream and make you take your thoughts, take your dreams, take your feelings. So you exchanging.
There would be
you exchanging consciousness.
Yes.
For payment.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Something like that. Yeah.
That's fine. That's. And I'm not saying that's not an answer. I'm not disagreeing with it.
Okay.
I'm saying let's have answers.
Okay.
At least that's what I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying. I'm just saying, are we thinking on that level? And I think that's what I'm trying to get to. Are we at this age as African Americans or American Africans? Mm-hmm. Are we as a people, or are we, I'm a pastor, just jumping and shouting and waiting on somebody to come and save you?
Give us answers.
Yeah, get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so where are we? Are we thinking on these terms? Because right now you got people in right now there are actual people who are in China. I showed y'all an article. It was in 2021. I think I showed the church an article in 2021 where in China they was having meetings about what they're going to do in the next 100 years. Mm-hmm. They was getting together, having meetings about what they're going to do, and I think I showed my church the article over the next 100 years. And then we don't have meetings as about what we're going to do next year,
next month.
And you get what I'm saying? Like, hey, it's the family getting together saying, what are we going to do? Our husband and wife sitting at the table and says, baby, the world is turning. Are we going to be the vanguards of the turn? Right. Or are we going to be caught in the middle of this and get caught? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And sometimes we get caught in the tail of it.
Yeah.
And we have no control. We just got to go wherever it's going. For
sure.
So thinking and having just conversations put you in a place, planning, and put you. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And planning pushes you in a place of leadership.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because now I'm thinking, where are my children going?
Yeah.
What kind of world are we leaving our children?
How will they survive?
How will they survive and thrive and be better than us and do better than us? Yes. So we got all these questions, and this is so we can laugh about it and joke and that and I'm with all of that. But are we having the conversation?
Right.
And that's why I say I can't. When you talk about Megan, talking about us, I can't take that off. We cannot take that off the table. We cannot take it off the table. But are we thinking on that level? Or are we just trying, or are we thinking pure survival? Purely at a place where we just trying to pay some bills, dance on weekends, happy during tax time. Yeah, I mean, have we developed? Have we developed? Go for it. As the difference is what?
Is it a difference in what you just described as far as some of the current statuses of people that are living to pay bills and just surviving, compared to a world that could be coming where you receive these benefits and you're just surviving? Is it a difference?
I believe there's a difference, and I do believe, and so part of the reason why I have these conversations and spark these conversations is to find the minds of the young Black, African American, European American as well. I don't mind. I don't care what race, because this is not about race. This is not about race at all, and I don't even want to bring race in it. I would just like to hear the Gen Xers and the Gen Zs. It's important. It's important. I just want to bring up
because we're the only ones that don't.
Well, we're not the only ones there.
Everybody, it seems like
it's just,
we're the only ones that don't look out for.
Okay, wait a minute, Tim. I have no, Tim. You can't. it's no. You're saying that but the system. You gotta look at the system. You have to look at the system, and I can't say that again without going to the past. Okay. And the system has brought us to a place where, so it's the system.
But it still is what it is.
It is what it is, but it didn't just come from nowhere.
Right? No, it didn't come from nowhere.
So where did it come from? So we know how to fix it, or at least combat it. Mm-hmm. So at least we'll know if we can't fight it. At least we'll give our children the tools and the weapons to start making those advancements. Mm. So that's where we are right now. That's what I think. So I don't know. This is what Elon Musk said. Elon Musk has made a whole lot of suggestions. I would call them suggestions and inventions. He even wants to thermoforce Mars. He wants to thermoforce Mars. Mm-hmm. You know, so you're thinking like that. So now you got a man who you if you want to listen to somebody who's worth whose taxes are in the billions.
Yeah,
you get what I'm serious. He owed billions in taxes. Mm. No, you hear what I just said?
Yes.
In taxes. Oh my God. And you're gonna say he ain't never built anything. Mm. He just designed and playing. Mm. He ain't built nothing. Mm-hmm. We even think he came up with the word Tesla. We don't even know who Tesla is. Mm.
Yeah.
We don't even know who Tesla is.
He would definitely be the person to pay attention to.
So now you got somebody who got all this. They call him the mad scientist, anything else like that.
I would say insight.
But, what you mean?
Like he has a lot of insight on kind of what's next a little bit. Like he's kind of showing what's next.
Yeah, he's making what's next.
Making what's next. Yeah, true.
And so we need to get in, and I think that so in listening to that and just trying to take a pieces of that, it helps us to understand, okay, how should we be thinking moving forward? Yeah. And can we remove ourselves from old thinking so we'll be able to handle what's coming and what's moving forward? I am, so we good with that part? I am changing the narrative a little bit. I am tending to take that same model and add it to my ministry.
Okay.
Especially my preaching.
Okay.
And I am attempting to take old things from my past to sort of shake it up a little bit, find a different nuance so the Gen X's and Gen Z's can understand. So they can apprehend it a little bit better. I am looking at, so when I go through my own studies, and I did it yesterday, and I started, and I actually, if y'all don't understand, I started it yesterday.
Okay.
And so yesterday I started something. Well, I started years ago, but I am trying to develop a system of preaching where I can take the simple things of the scripture and sort of modernize it.
Okay.
Into a form where we can conceptualize something new about something that's old by just using simple vernacular.
Right.
That's what I'm attempting to do.
Okay.
And it's taken me a long time to do it. And I remember maybe about 2000. If you can probably let me know if you are doing something different within your music, within your sound, or something like that. And do you wrestle with yourself as far as how am I able to give something to another generation that makes sense to them, that they can take it and carry it and move it over to their children so they can apply it without it breaking up the old, because I don't want to take up the roots. Mm-hmm. But it's so different that it didn't come out of the thought of someone. It didn't come out of the thought of yesterday. Mm-hmm. It came from present thought, right, using the old foundation, present thought, to create a new flower, a new garden, a new system. And that's what I'm attempting to do with the word. I am using the Bible, this old book of scripture, and I did it yesterday. I started years ago, and I'm trying to develop a system of preaching that simply takes these things that we think is mystical
Mm-hmm.
and ooh, and all these old images, and I'm trying to break that down and then recreate something different so we get understanding. So, prime example.
Okay.
When I talked about the serpent,
Okay.
prime example.
Mm-hmm.
So yesterday, y'all go back to the sermon, I preached about Satan,
Court vision.
I preached about Satan. Oh, well, before I get in here,
Okay.
I would love for you to interject on this one.
Okay.
Is there anything that you wrestle with the sound of your music? Do you wrestle with yourself? How do you want to present something new? Do you wrestle with anything like this? Do you have God have given you this? If not, then we understand. But this responsibility, because how do I grab Chloe, your daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and how do I grab it so they can sort of apply it and share it and understand it, and in a sense fall in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there anything in your music? And I'm asking this so because I'm setting up mine, but I'm asking you because I would love you to engage in this.
Okay.
Is anything do you think like that?
Yeah. I mean, the Lord has pretty much I've given me the understanding that my sound is for the next generation. So there are certain things with my sound that what do you call our senior saints? What you call them?
Mm-hmm.
Senior class.
Mm-hmm.
That it does resonate with them, but there are certain things that just are understood better by a different generation. And so initially I did wrestle with it because I felt as though I needed to adjust my sound. I thought that it wasn't reaching who I thought it needed to reach. I thought that, the Lord gave me this sound and that everyone should be able to, but I'm realizing that everyone is attracted to a particular sound, a particular vibration, and I don't need to, adjust what the Lord has naturally given me, and who I'm for is who I'm for, and who I'm for has been attracted to me in that way. So I think that as far as the generational differences, I think that we should kind of just leave people alone in their generations. I think that okay.
That was a shot.
It was?
Yeah, go for it.
I think that who they are, whatever the Gen X, Gen Z, wherever they are, there's a voice and there's a sound for those generations. Some voices are interchangeable from generation to generation. They're just uniquely able to fit in all of those different places. But for me, I'm finding that I'm more for, I think, the newer generation that's coming up, the new generation of worshipers, new generation of praisers. So yeah,
I would like for you
to.
You didn't answer my question.
I didn't. Well, what was the question?
I'm not. I am not going to. I'm not going to laden you with that.
Give me one question at a time.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not going to laden you with that question. But I would love for you to, please. I would like. This. So I'm asking this personally. I would personally like for you to come back in a week or two and wrestle with this a little bit.
What's the question?
The question is, how have you wrestled with your sound in such a way that you can articulate what you're doing for the next generation? Do you wrestle with what you have? Not just saying, yes, I wrestle with it. Yes, I'm going through it, and I think this. But
you want me to give examples?
What was the process?
Oh, okay.
And so what was the thought process like?
Okay.
What was the wrestling like? What was the idea like? What did you actually have to sit down and say, okay, this didn't sound right? I heard the song from Hezekiah Walker, and I heard a sound from the the back in the day sisters. I'm just using this as an example. And so I sort of said I left that sound alone.
Okay.
And I left it there. But I'm saying, did you just wrestle with those processes?
The thing is that my process wasn't like that.
So that's what I'm saying. Your process.
Okay. So I didn't have a lot of things to compare my sound with. Because growing up for me, we really didn't listen to a bunch of different music. So I wasn't the whole 90s period, the 2000s period. I really wasn't impacted by the sound of gospel music, honestly, or just music in general, because we really didn't listen to a lot of music. Like a lot of people say, well, they had this soulful thing with like Al Green and these different, all of these different, like, or like Andre Crouch. Like I did not grow up in that environment where as though there was something that I was particularly trying to sound like. I didn't even know that I had a sound or that I could sing until late in my years, like as almost an adult, that I could even sing. So that process for me, when I did finally get in an environment to share my gift, it was initially uncomfortable because it was different from what I had heard from other people. Am I going in the right direction? Am I
going in your direction?
Am I kind of answering? I'm going towards answering the question.
Yeah, but
okay,
your
so
music process. Go ahead.
Okay. So, like I said, as I got into a musical environment here at the Court of Christ, is really the first time that I was able to really embrace the sound that I am. I think it didn't really necessarily fit what had been heard prior. I think it was a little different, a little, maybe for some people a little strange, a little whatever you want to call it, but it was me. And so, yes, I did have to wrestle with the awkwardness of feeling like my sound wasn't good enough, or I needed to sound a little more seasoned. I needed to have like this feel into my sound that I wasn't really familiar with because I wasn't in that environment. So my wrestling period actually was like very tormenting during that time because I didn't have any affirmation of, you know what, that's doesn't quite sound like that, but that's good. That's you. That's okay. Initially. So it was, I don't know, for me, that time was a very dark place because I just did not understand who I was. I didn't understand that I had a particular sound. I didn't understand that, are we good? Are we good?
You know, when you talk, I got like 50 questions. So yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're in the right direction because I know sometimes you said I'll be staring off and I want to make sure that I'm on the right path. With that, like I said, it was a journey to just trying to find my sound and be okay with what was coming from me. Naturally, there was a sound of worship before I even knew what a real relationship like with God even looked like. And I know that's kind of weird, but there was like a natural sound of worship that came before I really knew the logistics of what that intimate place kind of should look like, if that makes sense. So it was a struggle. It was a struggle. Of course, I went through like depression. I was anxious as I transitioned into worship leader. That was also slightly caused some anxiety just because you have everybody has their own dynamic of what they believe praise is and what they believe worship is, and just trying to fit a standard that kind of wasn't quite me was just very difficult. So anyway, now what's the next question? That's the first process. That's the process I went through. You need more.
Identify. Can you identify your sound? Can you identify your sound?
Can I identify my sound?
If I would ask you, what is your sound? What is it?
I would say that honestly, I don't think that it can be labeled. I would have to. All I can say is that it's a universal sound. I think that it's multi-generational. I think that it can fit a more seasoned dynamic, and at the same time it does go, and it is for a younger group of people that are not really concerned about the restrictions of system, if that makes sense, or the restrictions of what worship must look like, or creating worship or creating a sound that is standard or programmed to a certain extent. Not saying that everybody's doing that. I'm just saying it's more revealing of you finding what your own sound is and allowing it to flourish, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if I answered the question.
You can come back in 2 weeks, right?
It's fine. I mean, I can come back next week.
All right, good. Okay, next week. Okay, so you're gonna be next week. Good. But this is food for thought. This is food for thought.
Yeah, but some of the questions you ask, like I can't give it like a. I would say it's jazz. I would say it's that because it can be all of those different things, and so I don't really like kind of. And maybe I'm missing it a little bit, but I don't really like to put a particular label, a particular genre, a particular like avenue specifically, just because I do think that it's interchanges, like with the music that I'm working on, like it kind of hits all genres of music, all elements of music, whether it's up or it's down or it's jazz or it's opera, or it's kind of hitting all of these different dynamics as far as like, so it's kind of hard for me to put a particular like label if that is the question, like where does it fall in the category of something like that?
No, I'm listening.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
Yeah. So it's difficult for me to like place a specific label if that's what the question is. With like, where does it fall in one of those type of categories?
I just want to know how do you. So I just would ask you. So if someone would come to you and says, "How do you identify? How do you identify that sound?" Oh man, hold on one second.
Okay.
How do you identify? How do you identify? How do you identify that sound? Hold on one second. People texting me now about this. How do you identify that sound? What would it be? And so you said the sound. I can't answer for you. Right. I cannot answer for you. And I can't. I can't answer for you. Hold on one second. That's not.
Yeah. All I can say is that in my sound, I can just tell you like the elements that you'll find in the sound, but I'll come back next week and try to. But I can't particularly label.
So that sound would have. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna answer that. I'm gonna answer. That's yours.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there are elements that will come from the sound. Like there's things that should break in you when you listen to it. Like, you know what I mean? Like as far as like those dynamics, if that's what you mean. But maybe I'm just not understanding the question. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, you're answering the question, but then you're answering the question within under the gazebo of what I'm asking. So you're right there. But I feel like we just have that responsibility. I feel like we all have that responsibility to say, this is what I'm doing. And so, and I've often talked about a car that I had, which was one of Mercedes-Benz best cars, but they didn't know what it was. And so since they didn't know what it was, the people since it turned out to be one of the Mercedes worst cars, which was the R350.
Okay.
And the R350 and the R320. Mercedes, R350, R320. And that's what I got from them. And so when I started looking at cars, you go do your reviews. And the R350 and the R320, they didn't know what it was, so it didn't do well as far as sales are concerned. But it was one of Mercedes' best built cars that didn't do well, just because no one knew what it was.
Okay.
And so now, so here was the question. If y'all go to the reviews, y'all see it. Is it an SUV? Is it a station wagon? Or is it a sedan? So they didn't know what it wanted. They didn't really know what it was. So most of the, the car guru people say, don't buy that car. It is a big car that Mercedes was just testing for a few years. I think they stopped making it in 2014. They just stopped because, they went to the G something. I forgot whatever it was. But they went to G something not because it wasn't a bad car, because they said that was Mercedes. In terms of Mercedes-Benz, they said that car could guarantee you 300,000 miles. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
300,000 miles.
My demographic will know my sound. They'll be able to, because I'm hearing what you're saying.
So your demographic will know your sound.
They'll know my sound. My demographic will know my sound, and because it does not fit a specific.
So here's the deal.
So even with the SUV and the this and the that, so if Mercedes didn't give it did they give it a certain classification of what
the R350? They didn't. No, they didn't.
So
they didn't.
And they don't have to because it can fit all of those.
No. Beautiful.
Okay.
You're saying your demographic will know your sound.
Yes, and I'm also saying that it's interchangeable because
I'm not coming against anything.
I know. I just hear the example that you're giving, and it's giving me.
No. You're messing up. You're missing what I'm saying. I'm asking you to identify. I'm not saying is it just one. It could be all four. It could be
Okay.
5 sounds. It could be a little hip hop, a little this, a little that.
Yeah.
But I'm only asking for you to identify it. And
Mm-hmm.
then you said the people will know your sound. So
Mm-hmm.
are you leaving it up? My next question is, are you leaving it up to them to identify it,
I'm leaving it up to them to connect with it.
but
Like,
not
what-
to identify it?
they'll be able to identify what it is to them personally. I think that it'll be an individual kind of thing. I don't think that there'll be a general consensus like, this music is the blues.
So you won't think, so you don't want them saying this is a worship album.
I want them to identify that this is a worship album, but I want them to also understand that there are different sounds that are incorporated in the music, that it is purely worship, but there also are different people that are attracted to the sound of blues, or that are attracted to the sound of like certain chords, and like it would be interchangeable. I don't want to restrict it to this is not just worship, but this is a worship album, period. This is a worship album. At its core, this is a worship album. However, if there are different people that are not coming from the perspective of the general like Christian consensus, different outside of our world of of Christianity, I want them to be able to still be affected by this. Like, oh, I hear this different sound in there, and it doesn't quite sound like worship. Like, I know that I'm worshiping, but it's not really a typical worship sound, if that makes sense. Like, I want people to be able to identify with what they sense in the music, and it doesn't necessarily have to be associated with worship, even though that is what it is at its core. But someone that's not a worshiper, that even knows what it is able to connect with the spirit in it, even if they don't quite understand what it is. It could be just the rhythm, the R&B. Maybe it's an R&B piece in there that's like, this is giving me a little R&B, but I can connect to the Lord through this little piece right here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to put a specific classification on it that restricts other people from finding it or being turned off because it says worship. It is a worship. I mean, I would never deny that this is purely what it is, but I also don't want to put a specific category so that it turns off people that don't understand worship yet, and that they're able to get into it like, wow, I really like that. I didn't even know that this was, I mean, even they don't, but I'm just saying, like, that's kind of what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha. And so you're leaving this open to the people that will connect.
This is the worship climax. And so the point of it is to allow people to find that climax, whether it's, for some people, the climax is the largest part of the song. For some people, it's the more soft, intimate aspect of the song. Like, it's for them to find their part, wherever that may be. No, I don't think anyone can tell them what their lane should be or would be, or this is how they should express themselves in worship. And this album leaves it open for you to find your expression of worship, wherever that is. And so it's more of, I guess, it's a non-restrictive type of place. And I think that's why it will be more it'll be effective to this generation and the coming generation, because there are no restrictions that box it into a certain genre or into a certain little section.
But no inspirations. So you say there's some blues in here. But
There's
no
inspiration for sure. It's
you got
inspiration.
some. What's some? What else? Some?
What do you-
Because so you said you asked so you said I didn't have all those musical background.
Right.
Listen to music, but there is some blues in here.
there's all kind of things
Right,
that
right,
that
but
naturally, yeah, for sure.
So my question is, but there is no inspiration. You didn't get the inspiration from any blues song.
No,
That's
as a
what
matter
I'm
of fact,
asking.
as a matter of fact, when I was
But
younger,
do you know it's blues?
I do know it's blues.
How?
Because now I've started to study the blues and I understand the sound of blues. But some of the natural sounds that came from me as a child, randomly, my mother would say, like, one day you just start singing the blues. We don't play the blues. I don't know where it came from. I don't know if maybe it was a commercial, something that was in my subconscious that I wasn't paying attention to. But there were a lot of natural elements that I wasn't taught that just kind of comes out in my music. Like some people say, you just have this jazzy tone to your voice. And I'm like, really? Okay. Like I really had never listened to jazz. No one listens to no one was listening to music in my environment. And so now as I'm starting to become more cultivated or getting an understanding of different types of music, I can identify, oh, I do that. I don't know why I do it, but I do that, and that is jazzy. That is the blues. That is a little rhythm and that's a rhythm and blues right there. That is churchy. And not really, and now be able to kind of all of those things kind of intertwine into one instead of having to be placed in this place where, okay, if you're gonna be jazzy, you sing the whole thing jazzy. You sing the whole thing like this. It has to be just like this. And that's where there has been some lines with like production and things like that, because that's not a thing. You sing whatever you singing, you sing it like that the whole time, the whole thing. And that's not who I am.
Good. All right. So the process was taxing. And you don't want to be, so this is not a traditional worship album.
No.
We can say that.
I would say that for sure.
We can say this is a non-traditional worship album.
Yes.
So we can say that. Okay, good.
And I would say that's my demographic, non-traditional.
Don't be taking my words to you.
Well, let's Google another word for demographic.
I told you, no, they take with non-traditional. I said that. You can't say that.
I've been saying that. I got that written down.
You never said it tonight.
Phone.
I'm talking tonight. I said that.
Okay, it's fine. I got another word. No, before you say another word, because I got two words for that.
I'm cutting up. No, okay, you got it.
Like
no,
that.
I'm cutting up. I'm cutting up.
I'm cutting up. That word because I gave it to him.
I know. I'm cutting up to you. I believe you. I believe you said it. But I'm just listening. No, I'm serious. Okay. I am listening to what you're saying, and from everything you said to me, this is a non-traditional worship album. A little bit of everything in it. And with a little bit unorthodox worship album.
Unchurched.
Okay, unchurched worship album. Okay. All right. So with all that being said, so now you were able to explain your process in ministry to others, so that someone else who is unchurched, unorthodox, non-traditional can able to resonate with that.
Yeah.
So if this is unchurched, will the church people be able to hear it? Would they be able to go with it as well? Would they be with the people that's sort of churchy? Will they be able? Do you want them to go? Do you want them to go with it?
I don't not want them to get it.
Okay.
I don't not want anyone. I want everyone to be receptive to it and get a sense of, I guess, of what they're hearing, like the Father say in the music for themselves.
Okay.
Like I want them to be able to hear it and go somewhere, like find it, and it's something just resonate like in their soul. Beautiful. With it. I do think that even the church, I do think that the church will be able to, and I've got a really big response from people that have grown and raised in the church. So I think that I think that it'll be like an interchangeable like dynamic as far as like the ages and the genre, because there are, like my mother, she loves the music.
She don't count.
She does, because she don't like stuff.
She don't count.
The reason she count. No.
Your mama don't
Let me tell you why she counts.
I'm going to tell you why your mama don't count.
I'm going to tell you why she counts. Let me say it first.
I'm going to tell you why your mama don't count.
The reason that my mother doesn't count is because she's one of the most honest. The reason she counts, the reason she does count is because she's one of the most.
Mama don't count. But
my mother, anything that it is that I am doing that she does not agree with, she is very honest about it. Very honest. She's not the kind of mom that's like, oh, I'm just say I like it because no. She's going to tell you, no, it's not good. It's trash, and you shouldn't have did it. Like, yeah, she's that kind of. She's a very loving person, but she's very brutally honest with the decisions that I have made in my life, the things that I have decided to do. She's very. So trust me. When she is able to resonate with these songs, she's not just saying it because I'm her. She birthed me. No, it's actually she. but I can use other older people that have resonated with it. But I'm telling you, she is not the one
All right.
that's going to be like she'll say.
Let me tell you why mamas. Okay, she told us why mamas count. Let me tell you why mamas don't count.
Okay.
Mothers don't count because mothers don't care. Mothers don't count because the mother
What?
Mothers don't care.
Don't care.
You would be your mother. A mother would buy their child all the latest gear in terms of sports just to ride the bench.
Not my mother.
That your mothers will also support your dreams even when they don't think it's going to go anywhere.
Not my mother.
Mothers will also, when you doing that recital and you can barely play that violin. I mean, Princeton was doing 2 chords. They Sean jumped up. That's my
Not my mother.
Oh my God!
Not
so
my
mothers don't count.
My mother's very honest.
Our mother will say, "I don't like it," and still support it. Mothers don't count. Your
I
mother
don't
is.
think you can say everybody's
Your
mother.
mother is honest, but mamas and daddies don't count. They gonna support you anyway because they don't want to steal your dreams. So they don't count. You got to take that to you got to take that to somebody. I'm not saying the music ain't good. That's nothing. I'm not saying that. But you got to take it to somebody who just really can really sit down and say, be brutally honest with me. They don't know you anything else like that. But mamas don't count. But you talking about your mother count?
My mother does count.
You have your own. It's just opinion.
Because she ain't that one.
It's
like
just
that.
an opinion. It's just an opinion.
She gonna tell you, well, I really don't think you should do that. I think you should let that one go.
It's just an
she's
opinion.
That kind of mother.
Just an opinion.
She's very honest.
All right, so,
but
I got the process.
yeah.
So a non-traditional worship album. Good. So I asked the process because I am developing a way of preaching that is able to take an old, like I said, old well of scripture, taking old nuances and old thoughts, old ideas from the word that's not in scripture, that were just given via the preached word. That was sort of customary, like traditional, but without taking away tradition. If that's being said, so I don't want to take away all the tradition to be so new to make like, what are you talking about? I want to be I want to be to the point where I can say something like, oh, that's what that really means, or that's what it says, or it's right there.
Yeah.
So yesterday I started, and I've been wrestling with this for a long time.
But you recognize tradition.
I recognize tradition.
And some things I don't recognize.
That's true. That's true. I get it.
So it's like different.
Yeah, I got it. I tell you, I got it. So now with my process, I was able to say, okay, I've been listening to preachers all my life.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of get what they're saying. Mm-hmm. And I'm also listening to and watching how this generation is receiving what's being said.
Okay.
I'm also looking at a new sound, a new voice that are preaching who preach the word, but not in truth. They are preaching they're preaching it as they see it and telling you to sort of ignore what you read, banking on the people not actually picking up the book. Mm-hmm. So they look at that and they go and they'll say things and they won't pick up the book. And so they notice, so people looking at it and they're saying, wow, the elders. Mm-hmm. The new people like, yeah, I got another revelation.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, they just be, I'm listening to it, they just be off kilter sometimes. And then the proof would be the revelation of it. Mm-hmm. And the revelation of it is not sticking with the actual understanding of the word of the Lord, the written word of the Lord.
Okay.
And so I don't want to move that. So now if I say something that's a little bit different, I still want you to see what's been written.
Okay.
Even though I'm saying it in a different way, I still see it when I read it.
Okay.
Yesterday, it took me about 6 hours just to develop one point.
Okay.
And the point was, we bring this point out, Satan in the garden. Mm-hmm. Talk about that.
Yeah.
A snake in the garden.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, when you look at it, you look at them old pictures, old scenes, you see this big snake on a tree.
Yeah, for sure.
Get what I'm saying?
Wrapped around
a tree. Hanging down, right? With an apple tongue out, and you see the naked woman, you see this, right? I come along and said, you know what? If it's a snake in the garden, then evidently it's a garden snake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now I just said that. This is simple, right there. And that's my mother calling. So it's a garden snake. And so if it's a garden snake, then I brought the element out of what is a garden snake and what does a garden snake do.
Right.
And I brought that element out for people to understand what the actual characteristic of the enemy is
Okay.
and what the enemy actually does. I didn't take away the scriptures, but you have made, I have never heard somebody call the serpent in the garden a garden snake. Never.
No, ever.
Ever. But clearly, if
That's
you
what it
read it, it's a serpent in a garden.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's a snake in a garden. So it's a garden snake. And so when I looked at that element, I kept it in its purest form. Garden snake. What does a garden snake do? And a garden snake is it's not poisonous.
Right.
I brought that out.
They're kind of harmless normally.
Harmless. But what they do is they startle you while you're working. I brought that element out.
Yeah.
It startles you while you're working. So while you're working, you're just planning, you're moving, you're doing whatever you're doing, and then you get startled when you see a garden snake.
Yeah.
It sort of shocks you a little bit. If you got a tool in your hand, you could hurt yourself.
Yeah.
So now what the garden snake does is it makes you aware that there are more snakes in the garden, hence prohibiting you from operating freely while you are working.
Absolutely.
And that's the dynamic, that's the chief dynamic of the enemy.
Yeah. Place of fear too.
It placed the fear in you that what we call conscience is actually not being conscious. It's being apprehensive.
Yes.
Now that's the depth of it. Now you act like, well, I'm conscious of men. No, you're apprehensive of men because the one man hurt you.
Right.
So now you're apprehensive of all men. And so you make a blanket statement, like I made a blanket statement about mamas.
Exactly.
You make a blanket statement, all men are dogs. Why? Because I've been hurt by one. That is the dynamic of the enemy.
Yes.
It's to make you be not conscious. It's awareness. It's different. The woke community call that being aware or consciousness. It's not being conscientious. It's being apprehensive. Now everyone is a suspect.
Right.
Everybody you look at is suspicious. One pastor mess up.
Yep.
All of them.
All of them.
All of them. You know, ain't none of them real. Ain't none of them
Right.
good. I ain't going to church. I ain't going to no church.
I don't need no
You get what
church.
I'm saying?
Wow.
You know, one woman do you wrong. All of them like this. All of them gold
It's called
diggers.
PTSD.
Yeah, so you got all these things, but that's what a serpent does. It brings you to a level of PTSD. It does. So now it shocks the system where you aren't able to sort of work, plant, cultivate with the level of freedom because you're always looking around
That
for
traumatic
the
stress. Yes.
next thing. It messes up your stride, which in the New Testament, the Satan is called a stumbling block. Messing up my stride.
Yep.
Satan has never been preached. I've been doing this I've been in 40, I'll be 45. I have never heard Satan be referred to as a garden snake. But clearly, I just explained what's right there,
Honestly,
the simplicity of it. Now,
I don't even think people talk about. I mean, they say the name, but they don't even go into.
they don't go into that
They don't
because
go
you want to
into
know.
that.
You want to know why? Because we have these old Michelangelo images of this big snake around a tree.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to say, wait a minute, y'all. Wait a minute. Those great big images of man and God
the
touching
devil on
my
the shoulder
devil on
and
the
this
shoulder,
and
and little angels with little. You get all these images, and we don't know how much those images have actually influenced our gospel. We still preach like, you get what I'm saying? So you're not even preaching the written word, you're preaching the imagery of the word from somebody else's perspective, and especially from the Greek perspective.
Yeah.
And you're a whole African.
A whole African.
A whole African.
You're a whole African.
You're a whole African.
We don't like to say that either.
Yeah, and your
to-
gospel has Greek imagery in it. So even when you preach it, it looks like it's you got this image even in your Bible.
Yes.
So no one has ever seen that. We have never had a book or a picture. I'm not saying we have never. I have never saw as a child a book or picture where Satan looks like the devil, Old Testament, looks like a garden snake.
No.
But clearly, if it's a snake in a garden,
It's normally a huge
It's a garden snake.
anaconda-looking snake.
yeah, it's big.
Yeah.
It's big.
It's
big.
killing. Like
And
it's
guess what?
Swallowing.
There is no scripture that says it's that big.
Yeah.
There is no scripture that ever gives
People's perception
the
of the devil
size.
is big.
So now I'm saying,
It's
okay,
huge.
you get what I'm saying? So now I'm saying, y'all preaching based upon old images, images from I guess 700-800 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You got those images in your head right now.
Yeah.
Literally. It's in your child's book.
Yeah.
It's in the YouTube programs.
Yeah.
You go to Sight and Sound, I guarantee you, we go to Sight and Sound, we see the devil, Satan big in the garden.
It's big.
So my question is, where in Scripture does it says he's big?
Yeah.
In the Scriptures. In the Scriptures.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, wait a minute. It's a snake in the garden. Let's call it for what it is, a garden snake. And something that small could impede your growth.
Absolutely.
It could stop you from working.
Absolutely.
And that's what sin is. It's a violation of purpose.
Absolutely.
My purpose is to now plant. Now I can't plant. You want to know why? I'm looking all around.
Searching, yeah.
I'm searching, and
Yeah.
I can't. And here's another thing the enemy does. It's an attack on the anointing,
Absolutely.
which is the greatest enemy to the anointing is distraction.
Yeah.
So now I'm no longer focused
Yes.
because I'm everywhere else.
Yes.
Same thing. So
Yes.
now Gen X and Gen Zs will hear this and says, oh, I can identify where Satan may be lurking in my life.
Yes.
What's keeping me from being focused? Okay, it's A, B. I can identify that.
Absolutely.
What's keeping me distracted? Oh, I can identify that. What's keeping this anxiety where I'm so apprehensive of all the men?
Absolutely.
What happened?
Yeah.
And we call it consciousness. We call it that, but really, you're being apprehensive about everything. So everybody's a suspect.
Yeah.
So now it's
Paranoid.
It's paranoid. So the good woman that says you're gonna take care of me, or you're a gold digger. No, she's a good woman that want to be provided for. That's not a gold digger.
Right. That's not a gold digger.
You get what I'm saying? And the good man that wants to spend time with you intimately, he's not a creep.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? He's automatically
appreciates
He's yes, yep.
intimacy.
So now he has to creep. And you look like, no, because that's all you want is my body. No,
Right.
he's a good man,
Right.
but you don't have no discernment because you've been hurt by the creep.
Exactly.
That's the devil.
You can't move forward.
You can't move forward. And so now, like, well, I can't get a good man. You let 8 of them go.
Yeah.
Like,
They was all creeps, right? All of them? They was all creeps? Yeah. All of them. Wow.
And you're like, wait a minute, which means that there is a difference between being conscious, aware, and having discernment. Which is another way of teaching the same. Okay, taking those small Sunday school lessons and bringing out those realities that makes us change the way we see our lives, to give us a deeper perspective of something that we deal with every day, just simply by unfolding the simplicity of the Scriptures. That's what I'm attempting to do.
Okay.
It's going to take me some time.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I'll probably perfect it by the time I'm 50. I'll probably perfect it by the time I'm 45 now.
Yeah.
I will perfect this style of preaching by the time I'm 50. And now you take that same element and just keep on going through the Scriptures.
Yeah.
Just take what you see.
And it's beautiful to
Or
even
what you
have-
read, rather. Go for it.
It's beautiful to even be able to have the I guess the opportunity to be able to do that, because like I would love to be able to create that dynamic with the
You
even,
are,
like I
though.
am, but I'm saying like when people are listening to a record, like, now don't get me wrong, I've tried to bring out certain elements like verbally where I have to talk, I have to say something to kind of set the scene for why it's okay for you to be free and worship, or why it's okay for you to adapt to those things, kind of based off of that, I guess, to a certain extent. But it just seems a little bit more difficult, like applying that in the arena of, I mean, of course, you know what I'm saying? Like it depends on what your platform is, but in the regards of a album, you literally have to almost, I mean, it's said in the album, like it's intertwined, but I'm just saying it's a little more, it feels like it's a little more difficult.
Fluid?
No,
More
it just seems
difficult?
like it's a little more difficult to really, like because you can't say it in every, you know what I mean? Like, even though it reeks of it, it's saying it, but it's not
So
like the verbalism in it is.
Are you aware that? Are you aware? So stop me if I'm saying the wrong thing, okay? So when you say that, what you're saying, from my perspective, when you talk like that, all I hear is, this is my first album. I just need more time to say what I need
No.
to say. You're not saying that because it took me, 20. I've been passing 28. I've been preaching up to 12. So you're talking about 30 something years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're talking like that
And
time
I'm
to
not
do
comparing
this.
that
So
time
you're
at
not
all.
saying that yours is. Because when I'm hearing, like, if she had more time, so that's what I hear, she'd be able to do this. You're saying it's not a matter of time.
No, I think that with time,
Or maturation, rather.
yes, with maturation for sure, we'll develop more and more into that dynamic for sure. I think that the dynamic is there, but I'm saying that if I'm thinking about like a teaching or preaching platform, in the time that you get to like articulate and bring all of those elements out, I find that I can do that in a song, but there's some things that demand like it being verbalized in regards to what I'm trying to reach as far as people finding their own worship experience. If that makes sense.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, do you have the ability to do it? Because you
I
don't have to
believe
do
so.
it in the song. Like, you just do it online. You just got so
Oh
many.
yeah, I mean, of
Just
course.
just
But what
get
I'm
up and
saying is,
just-
I want my music to resonate. That
Does it?
I think it does. But what I'm saying that there are certain aspects like that. I think that it has to be verbalized. There are certain dynamics, and there has to be. And again, that builds the conversation and the people that listen in the videos. Yeah, I know that there are other ways that you can get that across. But I'm just saying, in the sound of it, I wanted to penetrate in that way that it's,
And that doesn't come. And you said that's.
I believe it's there, but I guess for me, I don't always feel the sense of making sure that people kind of understand like what it is. I mean, I think it comes across as that, but
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you got to coach people into that?
I think that it is something that will need coaching. Yes,
Really?
because
so
I
you're
don't
not leaving
think
up to me to find it.
Huh?
You're not leaving up to me to find it.
You find what you need in it, but I do think that it's necessary for explanation to a certain extent, especially for people that only believe that worship is, only believe that worship has one look or one feeling or one dynamic to it. Like people that have believed that when you're worshiping, it just looks like this, and that's it. And if you don't worship like this, then you ain't really worshiping.
Aren't you concerned about those people? Because you said that you're going to a people that's untraditional.
Yes, I'm
Those
concerned.
people are not traditional.
Right, but what I'm
Or
saying
those
is
people are traditional, rather.
the people I'm going to would be untraditional,
Untraditional.
but
So they
some would be traditional.
Okay, so are you saying that you have to, you still, if your music is going to the untraditional, you are still concerned about the traditional. And so you got to coach them into what this
yes, but
album is.
also with the untraditional, being unfamiliar with something still, in my opinion, requires some type of
coaching.
Yeah, some type of understanding, and specifically with my music, I was told that it will cultivate a new generation of worshipers. So in the cultivation, I believe there has to be some type of explanation or teaching that goes into this understanding, because even though the people that I'll be reaching are untraditional, that don't mean they never been to a church. That just mean that they're not necessarily with the normal like dynamics or flow of a typical Sunday morning.
So you're not leaving this for me to find myself.
I want the listener to find themselves for sure.
No, to find it.
I want them to find themselves in the music and be able to find their expression
Without
of worship.
I don't want you
without
to tell
me telling them
So why you gotta
as they're
tell me?
listening. But I do believe that there'll be a group of worshipers that would need that type of cultivation to really understand like what it is and why this is different, and how can this be like this and this be like that. Like the explanation to some of the lyrics that you do have to search for a deeper meaning, and it might mean that to you, but what was the writer really trying to bring out in this? So I mean, for that group of people that are seeking for more in regards to what does this mean? Like I know that it means this and this to me, but I want a little bit more.
Right. If I would listen to music and I didn't know you, I would just ask, where did you get it from?
Mm-hmm.
I would, and the Lord is not enough for me.
Right.
It's because that's like because it's so general.
Yeah.
The Lord is not enough. Well,
Yeah, it's
God
not.
just gave it to me, and God is enough.
He's
more
enough.
than
He's
enough.
enough,
But
but
for me, I feel like when we say the Lord, it removes us from responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
God just going to do it. Or God is it. When people put that on there, it removes us from the responsibility of just understanding what we need to do for ourselves in regards of asking others for their time,
Right.
their ears, and their spirits.
Right.
We are asking. We can't make you listen.
No.
So we are asking you, hey, lend me your ear.
Yes.
And so if you lend me your ear, I'm saying, okay, so you got my ear for whatever time the music is. What is this?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So and that's where that would be and like I talk to everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like generally I talk to people, just to get people to go. What you gotta say?
No, I mean, for this particular music, I can honestly say that every single song is connected to an experience that can be explained, that can be described, that has a scripture, that has some backing, and I do believe that it's relatable to the average person. Like their real life situations that have happened, whether it's feeling alone, neglected, whatever it is, they're subjects that you actually can relate to, and I believe have possibly been in that type of place one time before. So it's like a reminder of what you've been through and what you can get through, and yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't say that it's just God. Like, oh, just God gave it to me and that's it. Don't ask me no questions. That's it.
Yeah,
no, I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah, I didn't say that. Yeah, you know, I wasn't
I can't say that 10 years ago or 5 years ago.
You didn't have an album 5 years ago.
But I had the name, and I'm just saying, like, there were certain elements of it that I had that I could not really describe, and not that I didn't necessarily understand. I just couldn't quite put it into words. It just really didn't sit in it. Like, okay, what is this saying? Would it like really live in the music? Like, it was, I had some of it, but it wasn't like even a name. Like, to sit in it and to really be able to like live in that space was not. I wouldn't be able to do that at that time. That's all I'm saying.
But now you can.
I believe so. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. So that was this is the element of ministry from which I am. This element of ministry from which I am attempting to develop within my preaching, so that I will be able to win a new generation.
It's a cure.
So Paul says,
It's a cure.
Paul says, I become like all just so I can win some. And so I am attempting to use that element within its rightful place.
Yeah.
And just due to the respect of my father, I just want to be able to be as traditional as I am non-traditional.
Right.
And yeah, so if he would sit here, my father's gone, he's not here with us. And so if he would sit here, what would he say to that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what would my father say if I say, hey, if I called him, you know, call each other. And during this time, we would always call each other because he would have to preach 7 last words all over the city. So this was his favorite time of the year, by the way. And he would just go in, like, hey, I got a revelation, man. I got a revelation. And he just go, we talk about 45 minutes to an hour about what he got to preach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how he did it. So if I were to minister this word to my father or to the fathers and mothers of the faith, what would they say if I had to sit down and talk to them as well?
Right.
So yes, I am targeting a new generation, but I'm also keeping in mind the seniors. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Who can really sit there and if need be, rip what I say apart. To God be glory. Let me laugh. You know what I'm saying? Tell me it won't work. Tell me I'm too far. Tell me I've gone too far. Tell me flick and slow down. You know what I'm saying? Have fun with it.
Yeah.
And so that's where I am in terms of this. And if I can continue to do this, I think I will have a better understanding, and I will be able to build a better relationship with the new generation.
Absolutely.
And I think this is my responsibility. And then I am also plowing new insight from the people that are listening in regards to what they want to do.
Yeah, for sure.
In regards to what they want to do.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, because like attracts like. And so I'm able to also turn on creativity in them by virtue of giving them something. You get what I'm saying? It was like it was like saying someone looking for something, but what they were looking for was always in front of their face.
Yeah.
And
for
a
sure.
lot of people say that.
All the time.
People say that
If
about
it was
love.
a snake, it would have bit you.
That's a snake. It would have been you. There you go, right there,
God
right in
is
front of
snake.
you. Yeah, God's snake. Yeah. So it's right there. It's right in front of your face, and that's what I want to bring out to people. Like what you're looking for
Actually.
is right in front of your face.
Yeah.
Your man has become too complicated for God.
Mm.
Man is too complicated for God.
Yeah.
Man has become too complicated for God.
Mm.
They're making them so complicated because they're trying to find something different other than what's being preached.
Right.
And you attempt to find something different other than what's being preached.
Mm-hmm.
You bring out things that really doesn't make sense.
Mm.
And now you're trying to teach the people that are kind of intelligent. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of.
And yeah, they got something going on. And then we got to keep on moving. And yeah, so that's what I'm attempting to do. And keep it moving.
I think it's great. I mean, first of all, to me,
Go for it.
you are, I mean, with that perspective, it's like it's breaking generational like stumbling blocks. So like even like with the garden snake situation, like bringing it out to basically give a cure for PTSD, right?
Yep.
I mean, it's like it's unraveling. It's giving the cure to these things that are tearing us apart or that are killing us daily. So I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's the cure.
Yeah.
If you bring it out in that perspective, and if you're telling us that the reason that when we're in a garden, we're in a situation that, you know, we get shocked by this and we just keep thinking we're going to basically step on these booby traps.
Right. Yeah.
You tell us why, I mean.
And I can preach that. I can preach that for a long. So if I hear it again, I know one of my brothers and sisters in the gospel.
Yeah,
I want to.
I'm gonna preach it.
One of y'all. I know one of y'all got it. I want y'all gonna take it to another level. I get it. But again, that's why I give it, because there is a level that I may not be able to reach. But there is also a level that another generation will. So if I can just give them the foundation, these pieces that they're looking for, but that are right in front of their face. And it's so many elements to this.
Yeah.
Here's the next element. The next element is I'm teaching the generation that only has a 20-minute attention span to be still. That's another element I'm bringing out of this. If you guys just be still, stop trying to go from word to word to word to word to word. Stop.
Yeah, because people feel like the need that to do that, to bounce.
One word. One word.
You better say it again, because that's the thing.
One word. And master that.
Yeah. And see how much you can pull from that one word.
Man, one word. So now with this element, they're also teaching focus to a generation who is, they scan. Well, scanning is this way. Scrolling in this way. Right?
Yeah.
Scanning is like this.
Scanning is this way.
Scanning is
Eyes
this
are
way.
left to right.
Left to right. Scrolling is like this. And we are made to focus. We are made to. Animals are scanners. That's why their nose is on. That's why their eyes are on the side of their nose. We got the only creatures that our eyes are actually above our nose.
Yeah.
Most creatures, their eyes are between their nose.
Yeah. They can't.
So they can't
see
focus. All they do is scan. Because if they could, if
Yeah.
that wildebeest could focus, he would notice the lion tracks.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But he can't focus. So every day on National Geographic, I see one get caught.
Not every day.
Every day I see a little man on National Geographic, because she, whatever those animals are unable to focus. And so with the inability to focus, they rely on instinct. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and in relying on instinct, we got to be a little bit, we're a little bit different, because we have instinct, intuition, but reason and thought and ideas and all those good things that we need. So that's where we are.
Yes.
And I am praying to, that a generation will come forward that would say, okay, this is what we heard, but this is what we hear. And what we heard was beautiful because it led us here.
Right.
But I'm hearing something out of what I heard.
Yes. Yes.
Hence, the elders can't say that ain't written.
Right.
Because can't nobody say what I just said ain't written.
Right.
It's a snake in a garden.
It's a snake in the garden.
Can't
Garden
nobody
snake.
say it's a garden snake. Can a man or woman alive say that's not written?
Yeah. And they can't find where it was a big snake.
Can't find it. You go to Revelation, call it a dragon, you do all the scriptures. I ain't talking about the book of Revelation. I'm in the book of Genesis.
Genesis.
I'm right here in the beginning.
In the beginning.
So if you read that and state, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you take that, everybody's aware. It makes people search and research and start looking. And then there's a generation that says, okay, I can do this and I am this and we're going to move forward because we don't want to be able to, drag our feet in a world, AI, where things are moving fast.
Lord. Yes.
So how do we help these people? So that's where we are. I think we close. I think we got this out the way. We got
so.
this. This is a little more. This is a mild conversation.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. Yeah.
This conversation is not taxing at all. But we got to figure out what we're going to do for tomorrow.
For sure. I definitely.
And we got to start thinking
some thought
about.
into
We got to
that.
put some thought
Yeah.
into where's this thing going?
Mm.
Where is this thing going? And what are we going to do for our children?
Yes.
And what are we going to do for our children?
Yeah. Seriously.
What are we going to do for our children? What are we going to do for this generation? How are we going to move? How are we going to educate?
Mm-hmm.
Putting systems together in the home that allow our children to say, okay, you may not want to do what I do,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't. You do have a way of. There is some economic freedom
Mm-hmm.
by working with mom and dad.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? There is some.
Because they can't.
Yeah.
Really.
So when
Mm.
so I am going to ask fathers that have a business, whatever the business may be. Let's just say the business is in trucking.
Mm-hmm.
Mothers and fathers got a business in trucking.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're driving, but you should have a couple of tanks, couple of them big rigs, and inspire to own one just in case your children may grow up and say, okay. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So whatever y'all doing, place something in it
Right.
that your children can be, that will affect your children not only financially, but also they become healthy citizens
Mm-hmm.
of our society.
Yeah.
They can be effective in what they're doing. So place in what you're doing something that can help them in a world where
It's ever changing. It's definitely changing.
AI is taking over.
For sure.
So I'm doing this. Okay, so you're an artist. But build a studio. Because somebody got to take, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you are this, but build something else within the middle of that.
Exactly.
Something so your children can come in and come under and says, okay, I can take this to another level. I can add my creativity to this. They may not ever.
Yeah.
But I am saying within this, they can, so all of you mothers and fathers who are entrepreneurs and who are aspire for entrepreneurship, make sure you place something within that. Place something within it. Pastors, y'all pastoring, you should begin, okay, so your children are getting older. You're pastoring. Okay, your children got to take this over. You kind of got to say, okay, we got to find a building we can buy.
Yeah.
You gotta kind of like, okay, we gotta find something that
to.
we gotta find something that we can purchase, even
Yes.
if we have to downsize.
Yes.
At least we own it.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
You gotta start thinking like you have to start thinking on those terms. Place something within what you're doing that can help you develop a generation, another generation, specifically the one that come from your womb or through your loins.
Absolutely.
Place it within it. God made a tree, but then put a fruit on a tree. Then place the seed in the fruit after its kind.
Yeah. Yep.
After its kind. So the seed or tomorrow is in the fruit, and the fruit is on the tree. It is God's system. So it's never just I want to do this. It has to be something in that
Yes.
says, okay. Has to be something in that says, okay, my son or my daughter can benefit from this.
Agreed.
Not just financially now. They know they're going to be blessed financially. But to be able to be a part of the working process
Yes.
of that thing that you're developing. or doing or building.
I would also say, like, for leaders, I think it may be important to start incorporating, like, more teaching on unity, just us unifying together in numbers, just in general.
What does that mean?
As this transition is coming with AI, I mean, of course, they're telling us that it's going to happen, but I mean, we are still in numbers. Like, we still, I believe, have a voice. So if we
Now, who are they? Who are you talking about? What
I'm
people?
talking about
What group?
as far as like whoever's creating the AI, those who are bringing it forth and trying to transition it into a means of our world as we know it in general, taking over all of the different jobs if there were no jobs left. What I'm saying is, before that happens, let us attempt to come together, us as far as like the race, the people, the earthlings, the humans, like we come together and learn what unity is. Because I would imagine that we would have to have some say in this. It would have to be some kind of vote, something. I don't know if it could just be like a takeover, like, okay, we just canceling all the jobs gradually, like I think that it can happen, but I would imagine that we would have some kind of involvement in that. I would think that we would have some type of involvement in it. So I just think that if we're unified and we understand, and as we're building these different legacies, at least we can stick together in regards to some of these things and maybe make a change or stand for what, because I wouldn't want that to happen. Like, I don't think that's something that should go forth in regards to taking away all of the jobs. Obviously it doesn't matter what I think alone, but unified, I think that it would make a difference. So if there's you don't understand what I'm saying? You don't never understand what I'm saying. Anybody understand what I'm saying?
I'm listening to you.
Okay, because you
but you know,
hate when you do that.
But
Anyway.
I'm a thinker.
Okay.
Because because we are the them.
We are the them. That's what I'm saying.
No, we are the ones that's creating this stuff.
Not all of us. I would say the numbers are definitely not balanced as far as like those that are creating this we outnumber them, I believe, at this time.
We do.
I believe we do. Those that are creating,
they just the scientists.
Yeah.
They make up like 18% of 2% of society are scientists.
Okay. So we still would outnumber them. So what I'm saying is, if we
I think my numbers are right. Go ahead.
If we still would outnumber them, at least at this time we do. So what I'm saying is, if we're implementing unity, if we're implementing strategy and ways for us to also be able to come together, and if this is not something that we want to be able to stand and kind of put a halt to this, I believe that could happen. You don't believe that can happen?
I don't know who. I'm trying to figure out who the we and the they are. I can't get the two. I can't get the two. I can't get the two.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Like, it's very clear.
We are the them.
We know. I'm not talking about the scientists. So I'm saying that there are those who are actually implementing AI, right? The developers.
We are the developers.
No.
Yes, we are.
No, I'm talking about whoever's trying to transition and everything be made into that group. That group that will make that, whatever that decision is, that everything, all the jobs will then be taken away. That's not us.
It is Chloe.
No.
Yes, it is. It's Princeton.
No.
Yes, it is.
I don't think so. How?
It is. They are the ones that's growing up to become the scientists. They become the people that make this.
What I'm saying
they
is,
are us.
Listen, what I'm saying is, right now, since we have a wind that this is coming for them, right? We can band together now to just forget it. I'm done. All right, y'all. Rebuilding the community. Thank you, Nick. Nick, we're going to have to get you on. She know what I'm saying.
We got to figure this out.
No, like,
we got to figure this
it's
out.
like, I don't understand.
We got to figure. It's you.
It's not me.
You are bringing in new music. It's you. You are bringing.
What are you talking about?
You are the new. It's what's happening next.
I understand that
so
this is what's being introduced.
We introduce it.
What I'm saying is currently We're not
Yes.
we're not making that decision.
We are, Ted.
No, we're
Ted,
not.
you're separating scientists from regular people.
Yes.
Scientists
I'm saying that
are smart people.
scientists are regular people, but
Smart people.
Shut up. I'm saying this. Sorry.
Why am I
I'm saying
shutting up?
because I can't get it out.
You got it out
sorry.
already.
I'm sorry.
But you did get it out.
I can't get it out because you.
Go ahead.
What I'm saying is the sun. I ain't mean to yell like that, y'all. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I'm
I mean, I'm just trying to figure you out.
Tourette's. I'm sorry. The scientists are regular people. Yes, they're human beings. I'm not saying they're not human beings, but I'm saying that there is a group that make decisions. Yes, we have a voice, but we're not the ones, in my opinion, that will be making don't say nothing. We're not the ones that will be making the decision if the jobs will be eliminated or not. So all I'm saying is, for the group that are really heavy in attempting to convert us into that complete world of robots and everything artificial intelligence, we should be teaching unity together, because I believe that we can outnumber that, whatever that is. You don't think that? Okay. To each his own.
Well, I just, it sounds, you know what it sounds like? It sounds to me like, I don't know what to say about that.
Okay.
I just,
Don't say anything.
we are the them. I don't think there was a them and a us.
I do.
But you, so so if there's a them and us, where do they come from? Us. Thank you.
But there's a group.
You keep saying there's a group. Where does this group come from, Tia?
They're already there.
They are.
We're not
us.
a part of the group.
We are, Tia.
We're not deciding.
Tia, you are making. Tia,
We haven't decided this.
Tia, we are deciding this.
How?
You're saying we talking about you.
Yes.
I'm talking about the person you went to school with.
Okay.
Is making a decision.
But what I'm
for
saying
AI.
is that group that
Somebody
went
you
to
graduated with.
That's fine. But what
Is
I'm
a
saying
scientist
is
right
that
now.
the we that's not with AI, we outnumber the AI
Who's
right
not with
now.
AI?
All right.
Who's not with AI?
We're not with AI.
Who's we?
Are you with AI?
Yes.
How?
One, because that's the way the world is going.
But what I'm saying is it's
Because
not
of the-
there yet. So what I'm saying
It is. We just finished talking about it. I just said AI has covered more ground.
I understand.
But
the projection is in the next 10 years that
how
there will be over 50 million people that will lose jobs because AI will completely take over those things.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, before that happens, before this projection happens, why can't we band together? Those that are not a part of that AI.
You keep saying
because
that.
to me it's a separation. I'm not sure how
Who
all
sep-
of them.
how-
I don't.
who
How
them?
are we all together?
Because somebody you graduated with is making that decision.
But what I'm saying, that group that's making the decision is
You
not
are-
me. That's
Why it's
not
not
me.
you?
I'm not making the decision.
Because you're not in that position.
Exactly.
You're not a scientist. You're an artist.
Yes.
So you can't make
So
decisions.
exactly.
So-
My point. So the group I'm talking about is the group of
Are the
scientists
decision makers.
that are making the decision. Thank you. That's the group I'm referring to as the they.
They are the
Then
they.
when I say about the we, I'm talking about me and the rest of the people that probably listening that may not have anything to do with the decisions that the scientists are making. Let me finish. So if we stick together, because we outnumber the they
No,
right
you
now.
don't.
Right now, I believe we do.
Oh my.
I believe we do. I think that we outnumber the they. So if we outnumber the they, we come together and we can make a stand for this to kind of not do that. We don't want to lose all the jobs. That's all I'm saying.
All right, Tim. I don't know what you're talking about.
Whatever.
But okay. All right.
Somebody did.
Good. I know, and if they do, they only understand it because I'm not being offensive. You only understand it because you have to, in order to make that statement, there has to be an element of just, I can't say
How?
what I
How can it be an element of ignorance?
No, I'm going to say ignorance. I
What you
said,
gonna say? Stupidity?
no, TV watching. You
I don't watch TV.
No. That's separating the cyborgs from the regular people. The politician from the regular people.
Yes.
Politicians are regular people.
But the electoral college hold a larger.
We are the electoral college.
No, who we elect. So who we elect, but we're all at the end of the day, what they decide it might not be what I agree with.
That's
I might have
everything.
elected. That's
But you
that's my
elected them.
point. That's my point.
You do
so
know
even though
somebody
they
with the-
come from, I understand
You
the
understand that part.
dynamic of it. I'm not
Okay.
retarded.
I'm not saying- don't-
even
don't
though
get upset,
I'm just
Sid.
saying I am getting upset.
Why?
Because
I
you're
disagree
making me
with
feel
you.
retarded.
No, I just
what I'm
disagree
saying
with you
is
because
that
you're
the
separating
people,
people.
because
I'm not-
people are separate. Everybody's not, even though we're coming from this group here, everyone is coming in the electoral. Yes, we did vote in the electoral college. It was our decision. However, what they choose as a group, I might not necessarily agree with what they actually have chosen for us, even though I elected them.
Us.
All right. The one's not the electoral college.
Tia, you're not understanding what you're saying.
I do understand
the only
what
reason
I'm
you're not in
saying.
it because you're not in politics. You're in
I'm
music.
using that as an example.
So
I'm using that as an example. It's fine.
It's
okay.
So it's okay. You're getting
like
up.
it.
You're getting upset.
I am.
And I understand you're getting upset, but I'm not.
You irritate me.
I just disagree with the notion of we got to get together and bang against the powers that be.
Yeah.
We are the
You're
powers
not.
that be.
We're
And how
not.
do I know we are the powers that be? Because somebody that graduated from your school is right now in a place of power.
Yes.
Wait, stop me finish. Elon Musk.
But the person that graduated, am I in that same
Just because
position?
you didn't run for politics.
Am I in that same position?
You could be.
No. Am I in the same position as the one that graduated from that?
Are you in the same position? No, you're not.
Thank you. That means they're in a group
And you in the group.
and I'm in a group. So what I'm saying is that group right there that graduated,
that's something.
that group that graduated, they're a group,
That's how you see
and
it.
this is a group. Even
Okay.
though we came from the same, we actually have two separate portions. Like you want this and we want this. So we don't agree that all the jobs should go. What I'm saying is if
Who don't agree with that?
this group.
Please tell me who is. I don't know who this group is.
Because
I know people don't even know what I'm talking about. Who is this group that I need to know who this group is saying the world can't move forward? Because
I'm not
this
saying
is
that it's-
this is what I'm saying. Because this is where the world is moving.
So it's like this. For example, if the country decided that we're going to no longer have in-person school for children, we think that, and I'm talking about the decision makers, have decided that the people that don't actually make decisions, that you all, we want to recommend to you that your children no longer go in person to school. We recommend that they just do it online. What I'm saying is the parents that you're recommending it to should have a say in we have a choice. Yeah, we want them to still continue to go to school, or we don't. There's some kind of voice in the parent, with the parent. You don't agree?
It's called voting.
Okay. So no, it's not really.
Yes, it is.
All right, they
But
might
you put the
they
person in
should,
there.
so that's the same thing with this. So if a group that make decisions are recommending, don't do that.
I'm gonna let you have
If
it
a
then.
group that's making
You're
decisions,
doing so good early.
if a group that's making decisions is now recommending, we're not going to have you all go back into work anymore. We're going to have computers take over for you. Then this group that they're recommending it to should have a say if they're with it or they're not. And we can vote on it if we're with it or we're not. That's all I'm saying. And so the ones that's being asked this and that may possibly get a chance to vote or not, what I'm saying is we should stick together. This other group that is being asked that. And I believe that would make a difference. That's all I'm saying. Do you understand the we in the day now?
I just can't. I mean, I just
don't care.
vehemently. I know you don't care.
Like, I
But
don't care. I can't keep. It's
no,
fine. It's fine. 'Cause I know I'm not.
No.
I know that.
It's not about how.
I
It's
know
not about how
that
you think.
it's
No.
not- I know that
You're
that's
missing.
what's
You're
happening.
missing. You're missing the point of just being. I don't disrespect what you're saying. I disagree with what you're saying, and you're acting like I am. My word ain't better than yours, and your
That's what I'm
word.
saying.
Stop, so you don't have to have a certain feeling if I disagree, and I don't have a certain.
'Cause you're not just disagreeing.
No. I am just.
You're not just disagreeing.
Yes, I am. I am
That's
saying.
not how it's being portrayed.
No. This is not about a feeling or a betrayal.
I'm not talking about
This
a
is-
feel. I'm talking about a betrayal.
This is not
the way
a
you're
portraying.
portraying. Yeah.
I am portraying and saying that I disagree with what you're saying because I don't understand what you're saying.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. I don't understand what you're saying.
Then it's not really you can't disagree if you don't understand what I'm saying.
I
In that case, you just don't understand.
I
what
don't
I'm
understand
saying.
what you're saying.
Period. So
Therefore,
you can't disagree.
since I don't understand what you're saying,
can't
I
disagree if you
disagree
don't
with your
understand.
point because I don't.
You can't do that.
I'm.
You can't disagree
All right.
with a point if you don't understand
I
it.
don't understand what you're saying, and I don't understand what you're saying, and I vehemently disagree with what you're saying, and I vehemently disagree with what you're saying
But you don't
because
understand it.
yes, I don't understand what you're saying, and I don't. The part I don't understand, I clearly know what I don't understand. I don't understand when you are separating powers that be from the we. That's what I don't understand.
Why?
I don't understand it because we are the powers that be. That's why
How?
I don't understand it. The same way that if we are the LGBTQ community, that's who we are. It's our some people don't want some of these freedoms and this and this and that and this, don't want this and this and that, but this is who we are. Like, I'm not gay, they gay. I'm not a lesbian, they a lesbian.
Yes, they're classified into two groups.
That's us.
They're classified into two groups.
It's fine. They're classified into a million groups.
Okay.
That they are us. That's our uncles, our family, our cousins, our brothers, our sisters. They are us. That's all I'm saying. And so they are who we are, because we are all one people. From those one people, there are groups. They're this group, that group, this
Us
group,
and them.
that group.
Uh-huh.
It's
Maybe you don't like the words. Maybe
It's
we
not-
use
that's-
a different
that's fine.
words.
Tia, you can have no.
Okay,
You can have, but
that's
no,
the
no,
same
no.
thing.
Tia, you can have what you're saying. Let me have what I'm saying. I'm not saying what you're saying. I just don't agree with you. I'm going to give you my point of view. So this is how you think, but it's not the way I think. So I think they come from us. They are us.
Yes.
And so since
one's
they
disagreeing
are
with
us,
that part.
and so since they are us, and we are also Muslim and Christian, and Catholic is a form of Christianity, and we are all these things. Politicians, artists, pastors, all these things that we
Groups.
are.
Uh-huh.
We
Categories.
are these groups. We are these categories.
We are these categories,
And you
but they
choose-
are categories.
And yes, well,
Yes.
I agree with that.
Separate categories.
I agree with that, Tim.
That's
I'm
all
just
I'm
saying,
saying.
all I'm saying is we are the separate categories, because there can never be one category. That's all I'm saying. It's us.
So we are those categories.
We.
However, in each of those categories,
people.
they have different point of views.
Different perspective.
And they can
different all
make
that.
different statements. They can make different
Policies.
agreements. They can vote against each other,
Policies.
even though
Yes.
we are the
Yes.
same.
Yes.
That's what we're saying. The same thing.
We are Democrat and we are Republican.
Exactly. So I understand that part.
That's all I'm
That's what
saying.
I'm saying.
That's all-
I understand that. But what I'm saying is, even though we are all one together,
Mm-hmm.
each category still has a different point of view.
I agree
and so
with
I'm
that.
saying, if this one category feels like, or not feels like, but if this one category is recommending that the world completely convert to this, and these other 5 categories are saying, no, we don't want the world to convert to this.
Right.
I'm saying these 5 categories outnumber that one category.
Right.
So stick together, unify, figure it out. And it may be a possibility that there may be some change with what's trying to be implemented from this one category to the 5 categories. That's all I'm trying. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay.
Now that makes
Without the I won't say the other words, but what I'm
It's
saying
fine.
is that's all I'm. That's
you don't
what
have
I'm-
to. You don't have to keep. It's fine.
Okay.
I just don't agree with the fact that we aren't them.
Okay, we've cleared that up.
I just figured there are
cleared
there
that
are a
up.
whole bunch of groups that comes from. It's not like we got a set of
We
aliens.
cleared that up.
And then, but I'm still explaining my
I
point.
know. I just want to make sure that, because
I'm
you're
still-
explaining
I'm not-
something that
I'm-
we've already.
That's fine, Tia.
Understood. I
Tia,
just-
then you don't have to respond.
But I want you to
don't have
fight against it, because it's
I'm
not
not
that.
fighting against you. I'm further explaining my point. I'm not even fighting against what you're saying. I just say I disagree with what you're saying. So you can hold it. I just
But what
wanna
do you
hold my-
dis-
I'm disagreeing with the fact that you think that people are making decisions without us. They are making decisions apart from us. And I am saying we are the us that's making those decisions. We are the ones, again, that are the politicians. We are the president. What's his name? Who's our mayor? He's
What's
my
his name?
age.
Brandon?
Brandon is my age. Brandon
Yeah,
Brandon is my,
absolutely.
Brandon,
However-
wait a minute, let me finish.
So don't forget. Go ahead.
Brandon is Anthony. He's a black man in power. I ain't got all that power he got. But he's
Okay.
a black man in power that went to a public school or whatever school he went to. He is a contemporary.
Okay.
He is me.
But when he
Let me
took
finish.
on-
Let me
Okay.
finish. Let me finish.
I'm gonna have to
He
write it
is
down.
me. He is who I am.
Yeah.
So I don't see him as being separate from me. Will he have policies that I don't agree with? Who don't have policies that you don't agree with? Will he do things that I don't like? My children do things I don't like. So now we gonna band together.
Can we pause?
Go for it.
So what you just said about him, Brandon, even though you're the same, you might have went to the same school. I'm not saying you did, but let's just say you did. When he became mayor, he then became a part of a different category or a group of people. Even though he's a person like you, might have grew up together. In my opinion, when he took that role, he then is no longer, he's in a different branch. Like his set of laws, his set of guidelines are now changed.
No, they are not.
Let me finish. His set of guidelines are now changed. Like he's held to a different standard than a regular citizen may be held to. So there are some things that he definitely cannot do. He might choose to do them and get in trouble, but he's held to a different standard than an average citizen. So what I'm saying is he becomes a part of a separate group that makes decisions. So even though y'all started off, you are one, he's a man, he went to the same school and all that stuff. Yes. However, once he became a part of that category, you can't make the decisions that the mayor make.
You're not.
So he's now a part of a separate category, a separate group is what I'm saying.
Okay. So you're saying, but
he's no longer.
He ain't part of us.
He's a part of us, but he also has different responsibilities. He is us. However, when he took that role, the dynamic changes.
As a pastor, I can say the same thing.
Absolutely.
But I am you. You don't. I don't see it the way you see it, Tia, and that's all.
That's fine.
That's fine. I just don't see this thing the way you see it. I am you. But now you can say something about a pastor. Now that before I was a pastor, I went to school with this one. I went to this. Now you're a pastor. You ain't part of us. Yeah. You up there with them, or you over there with them, and we down here or over there.
Not that anyone's better or worse, but we have to understand that there is a different category or group for different type of people.
Groups.
That's all I'm saying.
And I'm saying we, the collective, how many millions of people in America? Whatever million people are in America, the 7.8 billion people on the earth. We just one people. And we are one people that are in different places. I don't believe that there is a group of people that are behind the scenes that are pushing buttons. I believe we are the groups of people that are behind the scenes pushing the buttons.
Okay.
I believe that it could easily be your daughter. It can easily be my son. It could easily be my daughter.
It
could easily be any of us. Now, does that separate? But once they get in that place,
when they get in that place,
now
they change it.
When they get in that place, it's their job to make decisions.
Absolutely.
That's all. So now,
therefore, putting them in a different category.
Well, okay, good. Listen,
because we don't make them same decisions.
Who don't make those same decisions?
Us.
Wait a minute. You're not a politician, Tia.
I get it. That's why I said
that. So you can't make the same decision.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying when they get into that group where they're making those decisions, they become they're in their own lane. They're in a separate category, and we have nothing to do with that. They decided to be politicians, and that's what they're doing. The others that are not politicians, we're in a separate category. Even though they came from us, yes, we have different roles.
So back to the AI thing. So you believe that there are a group of people that says this is where AI is going, this is where the world is going, and we don't want that. There's a group of people that say we don't want to go there. You sound like the people that don't want cell phones back in the day.
I don't.
That's what it is. Because there was a group of people saying we don't want cell phones.
I'm coming from a group of people that don't want computers. To see the end of
the same thing your parents were saying when we started doing this new computer stuff. It's the same thing they were saying.
But that's not what happened.
No, and that's not what's going to happen in the future. And that's what. How do I know? How do I know?
Most of the jobs are replaced. What's not happening? I'm basing this based off of the projection. They said that in 10 years there could be over 50 million jobs that are lost.
20.
That's what I'm basing.
Most 80% of the jobs, there were about 80% of the jobs that were in existence in the year 2000 are not in existence today. In fact, 80% of the jobs that was in existence in the year 2000 were not in existence in the year 2011.
But that's a different rationale. That's not the same.
Let me finish.
That's
and
not the
somebody
same.
once say, computers going to take over everything. We ain't going to be able to do this. We ain't going to be able to do that. But we are the people. So since we are the people, we will constantly make decisions and changes for the betterment of our survival. We
my point.
are the
You're proving my
people.
point.
How am I proving your point? Because you're putting
that's
them
what
against us.
No,
And I'm saying
because
we
all I'm saying
are
is
gonna make
that
the
the
decisions
majority.
for okay, go ahead.
I don't even got the.
Yeah, you ain't got the energy, but I have all the energy.
I don't feel
So
like it.
now, okay,
because you're not getting
got
me to say what I'm saying.
You
and
don't
then,
have the energy.
because
You
I
don't-
already had said that.
Okay,
I said that particular
you don't
group.
have the energy no more.
I said no. See,
See?
make
You
me
said
upset. I said that particular group, the groups.
Where did all this energy come from? So you don't have no energy.
I have
do.
energy.
Why you
but what
saying
I'm
then?
saying, because I felt like it. But the reason what I'm saying is that you're getting on my nerves.
Oh, we're not talking about nerves no more. Now here is the deal. So I believe that we are these people.
Okay.
And since we are the people, it is my understanding that the same way of people thought that computers would take over, the same reason that people thought that and back in the day, kids wouldn't learn, and there are people right now that are even saying that there are people right now, parents right now that don't even like new math. The math system that comes up, they can't stand the new math system. They like, oh man, we just can't do this no more. Please, this math system, like, no. But we are the teachers. We are the ones who came up with this math stuff, with all these different things. Somebody amongst us stood up and says, this is how it's going to move forward. Amongst us, somebody that was amongst us. And they have become, the vanguards of our society. If they are the vanguards of our society, they are only moving society based upon the way the human society and the race as a whole is moving. That's all I'm saying. We are the ones that are moving this. We are the ones that are saying this. We are the ones that put these people in place. We are the politicians. We are the scientists. We are these different cultures. We are these different communities. We are all these people. Now you get somebody in different positions. One group says, well, I don't like this. And another group says, well, I like that. One group says, and this is coming from a from a democracy. One group says, I want us to be like this. Another group says, I want it to be like that. All I'm saying is, both of these wings are on the same bird. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is, if this ostrich got 50 colors, all 50 of these colors come from the same bird. One color cannot say, we ain't them, and the other color cannot say, we ain't them. Even though we are in different places in different categories, we make up this society. AI belongs to us. My question is, how do we raise our children in the middle of an AI world? Not how do we.
And you said how.
No, we never gave an answer.
You gave a suggestion.
I never gave an answer. I said, how do we find an answer? I never had an answer.
Right, and all I did was recommend that we teach unity so that if there's a group that does not agree.
But what about the group that does agree?
Can I finish? If there's a group, a majority that is saying that they do not want this to happen and they want things to be different or they want to have a say in it, that happen. And we teach unity. We teach how to stick together in order to make that happen.
I don't agree with you. So how can we stick
fine.
together?
You don't have to.
Listen what I'm saying.
But that's my recommendation.
Okay, good. But listen what I'm saying.
And that's it.
Okay, good. Then you can. I
mean, and that's it for that. Like
that's it for how you see it.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that this is when you say how do we work together, and I am for AI. And so I am with one group, you are against AI, you are with another group, then how do we work together when we are against each other?
That's why I'm saying
we are not against each other. So wait, unity amongst the people. So listen, unity amongst the people that don't want it?
Unity in general.
Okay, what about unity people want to do?
Because there may be, obviously, when you have the conversation about it, there may be just things that people are ignorant about and their fear is coming out thinking that there will be no jobs left.
Tia,
in general.
If I am for AI and you are not, you're talking about unifying the group that is not. Because you're not talking about unifying us.
I'm talking about having the conversation about it in general.
Well, you just said unify.
Yeah.
Who are you
Which
unifying?
is unifying.
Who are you unifying?
It can be the opposers. It can be if the opposers are not willing, if they cannot come to a agreement, then it would be, yes, the group that says we don't want it at all. If that group is larger and that group wants to see a difference,
that's your group.
I believe that group also has a voice. I don't believe that the AI group can say,
which is my group,
which is, I guess, your group.
Yeah, my group
is saying that, hey, it's going to be like this, and it doesn't matter what you all think. I think that has to be a group that is given some type of say in what's happening to their environment. That's all I'm saying.
And
I'm saying that this group that's being taken away from their freedom, not even their freedom, but that is the world is transitioning, and it may not be something that they agree with. They should have the right to speak up, unify together. All I'm saying is unify together to stand against what you don't believe. If it's something that you don't believe in, don't lose your voice in it, and just be like, okay, the world is changing. Okay, that's fine. Boom, we ain't no more jobs. Oh well, let them do it. Let it just happen. That's all I'm saying. It's fine. It's fine. You think that I don't get the point of you saying that we are them? I get that point. Like I get that point.
I can't.
But even though that we all are, there's still separate categories of people's opinions. Like you said, this group wants it, this group does not want it. We become separate.
Okay, so the group that wanted, and the group that doesn't want it.
They become separate.
Okay, put it this way. All right, they were a group of, and again, so they were.
Are they separate or not?
Wait, let me finish.
No, because that's the thing.
Whoa. All the groups are separate.
That's all I'm saying.
We are separate. That's what I'm saying. You're saying, you're putting groups again. I am saying the whole world is different.
You said that we accepting callers.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
The whole world is different. The whole world is different. The whole world is separate. That's what I'm saying. So there was a group of scientists that wanted to go. There was a group of scientists that wanted to. There was a group of Oh my God, not scientists. There was a group of oil people. No. A group of scientists that wanted to actually put up some kind of science lab in Hawaii. They want to put up a science lab in Hawaii. And they want to put a science lab in Hawaii because from Hawaii, they can see parts of the universe that they couldn't see anywhere else. Mm-hmm. There was a people in Hawaii that was saying, you can't put that here. You can't put that laboratory here, because if you put that laboratory here, we have to, you're going to desecrate their graves.
Okay.
So you can't put it there. So there's a group that says, hey, we believe in our tradition and our religion.
Yes.
And there was a group that's saying, but we can advance the future.
Right.
We can advance this. So what do we do? One group saying, yes, let's put this laboratory. This is a real thing here. One group says, not on our land.
That's the same situation, yes.
So what do we do? Mm-hmm. What do we do? A society like ours come together. We don't. You against us and stop. No, a society like ours come together because we have to advance the future. We have to see what's going on out in the world. We have to. And if we can see it from this place in a better place, you're going to have to. So what do we need to give y'all? What do we need to sell y'all? Can we have this piece of land? Can we offer these grants to your children, to your grandchildren? And they were able to compromise and put that No, you didn't. You said separate. That's what you said.
I said the groups are separate, but I said that the goal would be
to
for
unify
them to
the group.
unify. Yes.
No,
and if they can't agree, it's on there. It's on the record.
No,
it's on there.
You
and
said
I said
them
if they
against us.
can't agree.
No, you didn't. Oh man, I'm done.
I said if they can't
call
agree.
in. We are finished.
It's recorded.
Call the police. Call in.
It's okay. We can play it back. Now we can play it back.
Now we know what I'm talking about.
We can play it back.
Oh my God.
We can play it back.
Yeah, it's.
I said that the two groups are separate, but the goal would be.
Oh my God. So if we don't like it, we stop it. That's exactly what you said.
Yes, I said for that group. So we were talking about three separate groups.
It's millions of groups.
But in this particular situation, I classified it into the three groups. We said the ones that don't want anything to do with it, the ones that are for it, and then the creators of it. That's the group that I said it in. It's on the record, so it's fine. So I said that yes, they are separate. They are separate. However,
how does the world
work?
The
goal would be to either, if we can't come to a common ground, then to stand up for what you believe. But if we can unify, then unify.
You weren't unifying one against the. You weren't unifying one with the other. You were unifying one against the other.
Thank you. Somebody said yes, she did. Ha!
That's fine. Tia,
Proof.
that's
Thank
fine,
you.
Tia.
Because you're
Tia,
always saying I didn't say something. I
Tia,
did say
that's
it.
fine, Tia. I'm not saying that. You're unifying one. You're not unifying one with the other. You are unifying one against the other.
No.
You're saying if we don't like this, we need to stand together against them.
Yes,
That's
however, comma.
You didn't say however.
I did.
I came along and said, wait a minute, Tia, I don't know what you're understanding. I came along and says, wait a minute, what are you talking about? And the reason I'm saying, what are you talking about?
Just now, right before
we're talking about exactly what you said. You said, we got to come together because we don't like that. And if we don't want AI to take over, we should stand against it.
However,
I'm saying,
if there's a group, I said, if there is a way for us to unify, then we should. If there's a compromise.
Okay.
And you said there's no compromise.
I brought the word compromise up, not you.
Okay. They already see what I said. I might not have used the word compromise, but I said come to an agreement.
You did not.
I did. You missed it. You was too loud.
I wasn't loud at all. You was loud. I wasn't loud. I just got to get loud.
You was too loud.
I was just saying, I disagree with what you're saying because we are them. And the way the world works, one group and another group, one group thinks one way, and I said it. We are two wings on the same bird.
Hold on, caller.
Okay, go ahead, caller.
Let me try to connect. Hold on one
I'll try to connect. So we are two wings on the same bird, but it's the same bird. So you're saying it's them over here against us. I am saying we are them, us, and everybody. Oh, they hung up on us?
No, I did something.
We are them,
wait,
us. Go for it.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. So we are the them, the us, and everybody else. So just like I explained, those scientists, they wanted to build that lab on that Hawaiian land, and in Hawaii they wanted to. They call it in there.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Okay. In Hawaii they wanted to.
Caller, can you hear?
Can you hear us? Where the caller?
Oh wait, caller, can you hear us?
Okay, yeah, I'm here.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, Cass. How you feeling?
Can't complain. Who's this?
This is Jermaine.
Hey, my man.
Yes, sir. How you feeling?
Good. Go for it.
This is a spicy topic here. I like it. I'm loving it.
And turn your phone down. Turn your device down because there's a little bit of an echo.
Oh, let me cut it off. All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
We can hear you.
All right, bet. What I hear is you inevitably are kind of saying the same thing. Both of y'all saying the same thing in two different ways.
Are you being a peacemaker?
I'm not being a peacemaker. Okay. I'm seeing it from a holistic perspective.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So what I realize is that as soon as you separate things into subcategories, you eliminate the conversation for unity. I believe that what Pastor is saying is that there's one side of the motive that says we're going to advance the earth by whatever these decisions we're making, or just if we're talking about politicians and just unity in any situation, there has to be a oneness of understanding of why this is being had. I think the difference or the conflict comes in because of the motive, right? Let's take it out of this context and let's go to gentrification, right?
Okay. Yes.
Right. So they come and say, "Yo, we can really build this community up," but there's people who live in this community who have been living here for years. They've owned this fixed mortgage. They have been accustomed to this lifestyle, and they're like, "Yo, no, that's not going to work for us." We've seen many families lose their homes and things they were going to hand down to their children because of it, right?
Right.
Where on one end, somebody's like, "Yo, we've got to advance the community. We've got to build this up." And on the other end, it's like, "Yeah, but what about my home? What about where I'm going to go?" I think it becomes the motive behind it. And if we be honest, the reason why that happens is because of greed and some other reasons that is masked behind making it better. So where the unity comes in is, what is the end all goal for this and how does it help us? We can figure out how things are wrong all day long, But the unity comes in as it pertains to what you were saying. We're all one people. But all one people don't want AI to take jobs. All one people, that wouldn't make sense for all one people.
This is true.
But for instance, if a person has his own business, he's not worried about AI taking his business.
That's right.
But if you're working a job, now you're subject to, okay, well, this job is going to let me go. So there goes the division, right? Because we've got to understand the motive of why it's happening. And so what you're saying is absolutely right, Pastor. And what you're saying is absolutely right, Tia, is basically if there's going to be any unity, it's going to have to, first of all, we're going to have to find the motive. And then no one's going to agree on that. So what happens is inevitably the people make the decision. Lord have mercy. Like you said, Pastor Anthony, because if I don't want to use AI, it has no power in my life. Mm-hmm. Right? So it's like, when I was listening to the conversation even about AI, I was like, that's inevitable to me. It doesn't matter to me because I won't use it. Right? Whether I like it or not. I don't know it. I don't want it. It doesn't sound right to me. It doesn't mean that it's wrong. I feel like the people who are called to it will jump in it, and I will have some friends that understand AI, and they will help me, right? But that unity, it comes with understanding, I think, the motive behind it, and I think that's where the division happens, because the people who are coming up with AI are saying one thing, but it's like, it almost sounds like Tower of Babel. It sounds like America wants to continue to expand and get greater and greater because they're trying to negate that there's a God out there that says, no, he's coming back. And there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing, no information, nothing you can do about God coming back and his son. You know what I mean? Like I think that's what the world is trying to stop. They're trying to find out how we can stop global warming and all of these things and how we get to another planet. And it's like, no, now we sound like the Tower of Babel. And we know what happened there.
What if my argument to you is, I believe in science and I don't want the Bible into my scientific belief. Can I keep the Bible as a source of spirituality? Can I keep the Bible as a source of my spiritual nurturing without adding the scriptures to what I believe, what I've come to believe about scientists? Let me explain myself. In the Bible, at the last day, and I'm playing the antagonist, by the way. So I'm playing devil's advocate. So in the Bible, the Bible says the sun is going to dark, moon turn blood, stars going to fall to the earth.
Yeah.
Stars are going to fall to the earth.
Yeah.
When you hear what I just said?
Yep.
Stars are going to fall to the earth. We know if one star get close to the earth. We know this now.
Yeah.
And so now are we taking things that from yesterday that they had no knowledge of and just was purely imagery, and are we adding this to our faith and to our belief and bringing us to a sense of ignorance about what we now know that once was unknown? That's
good. I like that.
If stars cannot hit the earth, if a star come near our galaxy, we are incinerated. It can't even come near, not our galaxy, but near our orbit. It knocks us completely off. Near it.
Can I suggest?
Go for it.
That this won't be the first time that a star hit the earth?
Oh, I believe that. But
in the Bible, though.
But one star is extinction.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, I guess I'm talking a little deeper beneath the surface, right? So, like,
I'm talking science now.
No, I'm talking science too. I got you. I'm about to bring it right to you. I hear you, and I know where you're going, and I know where you at, right? But if we think about what stars technically are, if we talk of science, I love science. It's carbon, right?
It's carbon, yes.
Right. We are carbon.
Oh, yeah, so I know everything is in the star. Okay, so let me tell you. I know that everything that's in the star is in us. So all the 6 elements are in the star make up man. I know that.
All right, so stick with me then. Stick with me, right? So when the star decided he wanted to appear mightier than God, Lord have mercy. and he kicked that star or that angel of light, right, which is what he was described as at one point. And I saw the angel of light falling to the earth. That's a falling star, right? What I'm going with is science has been around before scientists, and God created science.
I agree.
God created the arts. God created, and it's like you can't go to the sub-creator asking about the creation when they only are studying and still trying to figure out what he did billions of years ago and is just playing it out right now.
So you don't believe? Are you saying that you don't believe in do you believe in the separation between science and spirituality? Or are you saying one come from the other, one is the other? I'm going to tell you what I think it is. I think it's science. I believe this is what I believe. Now, I was playing the antagonist, and let me tell you let me tell you my personal belief. Because I was just playing the antagonist to see where you stand. Now, this is what I believe about science. Science is spirituality is science, is unseen science. And science is spirituality that can be seen. That's what I believe about it. God allowed the heavens to be seen. That's science. All scientists do is observe what the Creator has done.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
I agree. But I also understand that there are certain mysteries he won't reveal to people who are not really chosen for him.
Okay.
There's a scripture that says that there will be many people coming into getting a lot of knowledge, but never coming into the knowledge of truth. There goes the scientists get all of the knowledge about the universe, but don't want to come into the knowledge of truth that says that there's a God that controls it because it goes against their jobs. They want us to have confidence in them, but they keep lying about stuff like the moon and planets and the earth. And it's like we keep finding new things. And if it were so true, if scientists were so true, why do they keep changing? The Bible never changed.
Okay. So I guess my question would be to you. So you separate science and spirituality, correct?
I do not.
You do. Oh, you make them one and the same.
Yes.
Okay. And on what grounds?
But scientists don't.
Scientists don't. No, scientists do not.
So they ultimately make themselves God.
Okay. I see where you're going with this.
You're not the creator. So how can you tell me?
They're not the creator.
Exactly. You're only going to be able to see and witness from your own perception and perspective and capacity what I've done. But that might not be exactly what I'm doing. And I'm not going to let you in on it because I'm God. I'll let my prophets, I'll let my apostles, the ones who are here that need to know what they need to know or why they need to know, I'll let them know. But I created this for a reason. Otherwise, I would have had the scientists create it.
Okay, I
so that's my concern with AI.
You're concerned with AI. You're concerned with So I'm going back and forth with playing the devil's advocate, and when I say it's me. But I'm playing devil's advocate. Okay. So AI, we look at AI taking jobs. So AI also have now in the last year have made a prosthetic. AI has made a prosthetic that actually moves based upon your senses in the limb that's cut off. Literally right now, if you go study AI, they have just made a prosthetic arm and a leg that you can attach to the arm and whatever what are they called? The veins, the something, the vessels, those vessels. Okay, so the hand actually, the nerves. Thank you, the nerves. That's the word I'm looking for. The nerve can actually sense what you want to do, and the hand actually moves. This is a scientific fact. People are now. So you're now people.
But
so
they are
now
also
go for it.
There are also things that are not beneficial with that as well.
I'm not negating that fact at all. I am saying let's talk to the man whose arm is cut off first.
And ask
him how do you feel about AI now that he can move his arm based upon something that's in his nerve that couldn't be done in 2022.
And then in 3 years, he developed some type of infection.
I'm just saying that
you
can't do that.
I can.
Well,
because the reality is there are things that happen. I did not make it up. What I'm saying is lot
came out with this.
I'm saying, I said, and I'm prophesying in 3 years.
You're prophesying this?
I prophesied in 3 years.
I'm saying in so much trouble.
I'm joking. I'm joking. But I'm just saying that in 3 years, when they develop a wound infection or whatever the case may be, like there are so many things that just because they came out doesn't mean it hasn't even had time to take effect to see if it's even going to be beneficial. What I'm saying, all science, all of it comes with some type of side effect. Some type of negative
even
effect.
Medicines do.
For sure.
And y'all still distribute it.
So you can ask the man now, and he might, of course, he's going to want to feel the nerve endings in his hands.
He is doing it.
But if in a year it comes with some other difficulties, then it's not fair to do it until you actually have been tested.
You have taken a fact and have mixed the fact with an assumption.
It's not really an assumption.
It is an assumption because you're saying what's going to happen in 3 years when you don't know what's going to happen in 3 years.
It could happen in 3 years.
Well, we can say this.
That's an assumption. What could have happened?
I'm gonna get canceled before I even get out here, but I will say this: we've seen what happened to the president when that link or whatever is in him starts malfunctioning, or anybody.
Come on.
We see what's happening.
Yeah.
So I as an alternative healing practitioner, one of my missions is to let people know that, like, if they can do that with the chip, God can do that with healing. But the problem is we don't want to do the work to transform our minds, because our bodies are only manifesting what our spirits are doing. Lord have mercy. It's just in the mind. They're proving that it's just the mind. They're proving it because they're just figuring out how to just put consciousness in and tell the consciousness how to tell the brain what to do, and the brain moves the hand. Like, that's all that is. We figured out science, but that's God, bro. That's how he made us. It's like,
I agree with that.
Yeah, so I'm not saying that it's wrong. What I'm saying is they're using that as a God instead of just going to the miracle working, healing God that will send you, like, will put you in those places to heal. Your body naturally has every organ and every limb will naturally heal itself on a certain amount of time limit, as long as you care for it and do what it's supposed to do. Your organs, your limbs, they were all designed to heal back properly. That's why a bone, if you don't snap it back in place, it's still gonna heal, because the body was designed that way. That's creation, and I'm not opposed of it, or I'm not for it. It's just I'm starting to see how everything about the world system tells us we want convenience. And when I've traveled the world, every part of the place outside of America operates outside of that, and they have more money, their economies are better, they have more unity, the crime is low, like, and I'm trying to figure out why, and it's because they're not sold on convenience. They're okay with working. They're okay with going the hard way sometimes.
Okay.
I think AI is just making it easy, just like computers did. That's why we have illiterate people now, because they can just Google instead of read a book.
But we're not riding horse and buggies either, though, man.
We not.
So at some point we made an advancement even in the way we travel.
Yeah, and then when they ready to shut those Teslas down, you saw what happened in that movie, right?
Yeah, I saw that, the white Tesla.
See, he gonna agree with you with the movies, Doc. You ain't gonna
be quiet.
Hey,
he gonna go with you. With that
we gonna be controlled right till the end. Not me. I might be on horse and buggy fooling around with them. They gonna have to tell me when they can stop me from moving, and not no sir.
Only thing go ahead. You go ahead. Finish up.
I said patent leather might be my only choice.
The only thing I know is when you read the Bible, see, I'm telling you how I read the Bible. I'm going to tell you how I read the Bible. The Bible says in the book of the Revelation that there will be a drought in the Euphrates River. The Euphrates River would dry up. The Bible said the Euphrates River would dry up, and there was a people from the north will come down to attack people in Jerusalem. There are people in the north that will come down and attack people in in Jerusalem. This is in Israel. This is a statement in the scriptures. I am smart enough to know that when people attack, they don't cross rivers. They send bombs, planes, and everything else. A river don't have to dry up for somebody to come across. But if you then, so I know this, but that's not it. This is what I know. Now you listen to the one of the lectures by what's that guy that's smart? Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein says he don't know how World War III will happen, but he do know that World War IV will be fought with sticks, stones, and swords, something like that. He said, we act in so many words, all this technology is going to knock us back into the primitive times. All this technology is going to knock us back into the primitive time. When you read the Bible and it says, and that's why I'm with the Bible, I'm with Scripture. So when the Bible says that people, a kingdom from the north will cross the Euphrates River when it dries, and the Euphrates River is drying up as we speak. If you study the Euphrates, so now if you govern, you don't have to look at the kings of the north and who they are. If it's Russia or if it's somewhere in some one of those countries in Asia or any so it could be any of those people. All I'm saying is we don't have to look at that part. Look at Euphrates drying. As it is drying, something is going to happen that is going to knock us back to the place where we're going to have to actually be on horses with swords, sticks, and stones.
Absolutely.
So all this stuff is going to knock us back into a primitive age.
Right, like Egypt, right?
Like Egypt, that was back into a primitive age.
That was the problem with the children of Israel.
Yes. So I am in agreement with it. My I guess where I stand is, if this is where it's going, who's taking it there?
So what year did he say that?
What year? Albert Einstein?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, but it's
a long time ago.
Albert Einstein is the long time ago.
Okay.
So
we're gonna take
who's taking
Albert Einstein?
Yeah, we're gonna take that.
We're gonna take Albert Einstein saying we're gonna take the person who actually put together the system that created the atom bomb. Okay. Yes, we have to take that because it's the atom bomb and the nukes that's going to actually take us back. So yes, we have to go take that.
But the time in between,
you're missing it, Ted. You're missing what I'm saying. I'm only saying I'm only citing a president.
I understand what
just like you cite and see how can you say something that's old when it comes to how can you say something about Albert Einstein and that's saying that's old, but then quote a prophet in the Bible, which is 2,000 years older than Albert Einstein.
Wait 1 second.
I was trying to make a point that you
go back. So you can.
I was trying to make a point that you would take his whatever he said is in regards to going back to sticks and stones and not take what I said in regards to what can happen to the medical field, whereas though that happens every day. That was the point I was kind of trying to make.
Yes, because he made the atom bomb.
But it doesn't. I mean,
so he's the one.
Even beyond that, if I can say something, even beyond that point, right?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that he definitely. I see both of it. That's funny. Both of y'all on the opposite ends of the spectrum. This whole conversation. He did make the atomic bomb, right? Or he did come up with the
elements, the energy. Yes.
Right. But he understood something very he didn't get it from himself. He saw that there's nothing new under the sun. And he saw that it was the convenience of the jewels, the convenience of money and power and greed that will drive a system down back to the beginning. If you look at the children of Israel, that was their main issue with Moses, that they were more convenient and they were fine as slaves because it was convenient. It was fast. They had the weaponry, they had the jewelry, they had all those things. It's the same thing today. So it's like, yes, we're for advancement, but basically what we're saying is we're going to be for convenience so much that we get used to it that we don't even remember how to go back to the old way that we know we're going back to anyway, that the Bible says we probably should have stayed at. It's kind of oxymoronic.
So you believe some of the old things and traditional things that we Are we fighting?
He just said that same thing you said.
Are we fighting with the 21st century? Are we picking a fight with the 21st century?
I'm picking I don't know if I'm picking a fight or if I'm just kind of highlighting the fact that we've kind of forgotten about God and all of this.
Okay.
Because we've taken on the words of the confident doctors and scientists and astrologists and all of these things, and Yeshua throughout the whole Bible was speaking against them. Every time he spoke against them, they said the diviners, the astrologers, the all of those people, that he could do what they could do but better, and they were admonished and astonished because he could do that, and they were like, you must be serving a God that we don't serve, right? So I'm saying I think America has gotten so convenient, and we've taken on what people have told us, right? Because even if we go back to like what they told us about 9/11 and what we're finding about it now, like somebody told us a narrative and we believed it.
Yeah,
this is true.
And we were given false information, which led us to false responses. Like millions of people were killed.
And dollars were spent, yes.
And dollars
wasted.
But who's driving it? Right. That's the question you ask. That's the question you ask, and I'm gonna tell you, and they might come for me. It is the Romans that killed them that are still in play today. Every bishop gets their authority from the Pope and the Vatican, and that's how we're run. Every social security number runs through that Vatican. That's why we got so much money, because we are the money. You was right. We are the people, but they know that. So the Jews are running it because they actually get to be and steal our lineage and our culture because they're blackmailing America because they know what America has done. So if you look at all of the industries, all of the car dealerships, all of the things that we need, who owns it? The Jewish. And America allows it because if America doesn't, they will tell what really happened.
Okay. That's it. I got it. I got a million things to say about this. No disagreement.
Yeah.
But when you're dealing with God and you're dealing with scientists, and how and I would like to put it in just in its proper context. A scientist may find something to be true.
Yeah.
But that does not mean that they are true about their findings.
Right.
And that's where God comes in.
Absolutely.
That's how I believe it.
Yes, sir. We all agree. I think we all agree. I think, am I being peacemaker, Pastor?
You know what you're doing. You are explaining both sides of this spectrum, because we on two different sides of the spectrum, and you are just bringing both sides of the spectrum, which is in my opinion, the reason why I think this can work. I think it can work with AI. This is what I think it can work with AI, because in order for the two sides to, my word I use, not tears, and I'm saying this, and I'm saying
the same thing I've been saying the whole time.
I'm saying it strong. I shall not be moved. The two sides, I'm saying, if they can't agree, then there must be an arbitrator. But we are also the arbitrators. We are the arbitrators. So if there are two opposing sides, there must be an arbitrator. We are the arbitrators. We are the judge. We are the lawyers. We are the defendant, and we are the prosecutors. We are the world.
And if the world don't agree, we're in different categories.
Well, here's the thing. We can't agree.
Go ahead.
It's impossible to agree with the world.
Wait a minute. When I say we are the world, I'm not talking about the world as in sinners. I'm not talking about that world. I'm just talking about.
I'm not talking about that world either.
Oh, okay,
I'm talking about the world means the system.
Oh no! Wait. Let's stop. For anybody anybody say Fliggins is crazy, I vehemently disagree with the world system.
Yeah.
Vehemently,
AI,
I have a strong.
That's the banking system. That's education. That's the religion. That's everything that we learned from the Western world. The problem is that we're reading the Eastern culture Bible
with a Western eyes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So everything that we see when we're reading our Bible, we're talking about AI, and we don't realize that that's a part of that's a part of the devil's workshop.
It is
like the internet, for sure. Like if
what about what I'm going back in past. You know this. What about the Roman road? Because the Romans was against Jesus. But without the Roman road, Paul would have never been able to give the letters to the different churches.
Right. Because
so that was new.
Let me tell you about Paul.
Everybody know the Roman road was important for those letters to get to the churches.
Right. But Paul's grace on his life, because he slaved early on. They say he was killing Christians. What he was doing was he was killing the Hebrew Israelites that started saying that there was a Messiah. And he thought that they were a part of the Pharisees and Sadducees sect, the Jewish sect, that said, one said that there was a Messiah and the other said, no, he's just a prophet. Paul was killing those people because he said, good and well, we follow the letter of the law. So when he had his transformation, God put him in track to go to other cultures that were not called to the law, to say now, because of the new covenant, I am the ambassador, because I killed people for switching. But now I understand that there is a Messiah, and I have my own experience with Messiah. I can go into Rome. And that's why he says, while in Rome, I have the ability to do what Romans do, because I've got to win the souls back to grace. Not because I'm trying, not because I'm conforming, but I'm converting. Other people who wear the robes are wearing it because of conversion. Like they're wearing it because they converted to that religion. He was wearing it because he was converting people into grace, which is why they stoned him while they were putting him in jail, because it was pretty much betrayal that you would wear a Roman robe, but talk about a Messiah who we're trying to kill.
I completely agree with you. If so, AI today, the internet. Well, let's not use AI. The internet today would be the Roman road of yesterday.
Precisely. And they lie.
But however, the Roman road was used to transport the letters from one place to another. The letters that we read today could not get to one land, from Ephesians to Ephesus, Corinth, wherever he was, Athens, back and forth, Galatia. All those was made. It happened due to the Roman road.
Yeah, what I'm saying is he was undercover. If you think about the undercover police officer, he can't go in with his uniform on. Mind you, we're talking about somebody who was an Eastern culture Hebrew Israelite, proud from the tribe of Benjamin. He talks about it all the time. He's going into Greece, Rome, Corinth, Thessalonica. These places are not Israelite regions, period. They don't know nothing. They don't care nothing about that law. They had other gods. They served other gods completely. They didn't even, that's why Yeshua was always talking about my people, because it was specific to the people of Israel, the tribes of Israel. Now we're scattered, right? But in that moment, Paul was specifically going into other cultures, so he had to be undercover, not because he wore the robe.
No. I didn't say robe. I said the Roman road, R-O-A-D.
Well, he traveled that road.
Okay, so that road, but the Roman road enabled Paul to send those messengers and messages from one land to the other. I am saying the Roman road, R-O-A-D, is likened to the internet today. A way to transport messages from one place to another. The reason why I can preach from my place and get a message over to Russia, to get a message over to Africa, is because somebody did something that wasn't created before or that wasn't done before. Something new happened. It changed the way the message has been sent. All I'm saying is AI is going to change the way things are about to be done.
I agree.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not. Go ahead.
Would you agree? Would you agree though that there are some preachers that don't have the same mission like you, who just want to be seen and raise money and, manipulate people into believing what they have to say, and they're using the same tool? Would we agree?
Exactly. And that's why I said what you find may be true, but that doesn't mean you got to be true about your findings when it comes to science. I am saying these systems can be used by the enemy and it could be used for good. But will it advance our people? I guess our question is this. Will it advance a people as a whole?
I'm saying no. Why? Because the people as a whole have a creator. If Yah did not create internet, if he did not create AI, my goodness, it can't be for his motives. So what happens usually is when we are on and we're doing what we need to do, people who really need to hear it probably ain't gonna see it because of the algorithms, or the internet starts acting crazy, or the service starts. You know what I mean? Like the enemy knows how to use his tool to come against us when we trying to come against him on his tool. I'm not saying that we can't do it. I'm saying that what it's created for is going to be the reigning spirit. Who created it and what it's created for? And I don't believe that a kingdom ambassador who is trying to get closer to Yah and get people closer to Yah is actually creating AI or the internet. Because if that were the truth, there wouldn't be so many lies. We got to look at the internet. We got to look at how who is putting the information on the internet. Think about it. TD Jakes owns Shade Room.
Mm-hmm.
How oxymoronic is that?
Mm-hmm. I heard.
I didn't know that.
TD Jakes owns the Shade Room, and that is one of the most prolific people we watch and we listen to and we try to fashion ourselves after or whatever else in the Christian world. So I'm saying, is AI going to advance the kingdom? Well, now, did it advance TD Jakes? Yeah, all the way to P. Diddy's party.
What? I gotta go. You are a young man that is about to kick us back to pigeons holding notes in their mouth and sending pigeons across the land. Instead, are you kicking us back into the Stone Age?
I'll settle for manna any day.
You will settle for manna any day.
3 times a day.
3 times a day.
Wow.
And this strong belief comes from?
Life. I've had everything and lost it in a second. And then I've experienced my restoration and watched him sustain me with nothing.
Do you still got an old way? Do you still have an old traditional way of living?
I have a set apart way of living.
Okay.
I'm social. I can be sociable for sure, but I'm definitely set apart. But when I go out in public, you won't be able to tell. Like while in Rome, do what Romans do. Like your grace allows you to be covered through that. But the strong conviction comes from life getting knocked across my head and knowing that God is in control now.
And all these new things that we have today and for our creature comforts, you're saying because they've been used by the enemy, they are for the enemy. Or they are from the enemy because the enemy has infiltrated these things. Or are you saying that I'm trying to get what you're saying because the internet is the reason why we're talking right now. It's the reason why it's so certain the things that we are actually enjoying is the reason it's the internet. We're using the internet actually to do these things we're doing right now to communicate. It's called it's radioactive. It goes through a wall. You get what I'm saying? It goes. So we are using all these tools right now, all these new things that we have right now that was once that were once not even thought of, and made the landline almost obsolete unless you got your mom or your grandmother still got a regular landline phone. My mama still got one, and so we made all those things obsolete because we got these new things that we're dealing with right now. Are you saying that because the enemy used these things or used these tools, that these tools came from the enemy?
All I'm saying, what I'm saying is, as much as we're able to do this now, when they shut the grid off and we can't communicate, we're lost. I think that's a means of control.
I got it.
And that's not God. I'm saying somebody else's motive is for something else.
I got you.
And it's not the creator's motive, right? So I'm not saying let's go back to horse and buggies. I'm not saying that, but all I'm saying is, like you said, eventually, like Albert Einstein said, we fit to be fighting with stones and sticks anyway. You might want to be practicing that now. You know what I'm saying?
Go back to David days, get a slingshot.
You got to figure it out. Like,
take down some giants.
Something. That's all I'm saying. It's like they're telling us now we got to go back to farming because we can't trust the food.
Yeah.
But it's like, isn't that horse and buggy?
Yeah.
I mean, they saying we can't trust the medicine, so you might want to go back to natural herbs. That's horse and buggy.
Yeah.
And it's really just the black people, really be honest, that's being affected by it.
Yeah.
So the person that's driving it has to be benefiting from us perishing.
Uh-huh.
So that's where the unity comes in.
I get what you're saying. I am disagreeing in subject, but agreeing in brotherhood.
Yeah, I think I would say we agree in them both.
Why?
Because I'm not disagreeing with you. I think on both ends of the spectrum, I'm saying we're gonna have to, and we're not even in control of it. So if AI starts running the world, we got to go with it, right? And he'll provide through it. With God will help us through it. So I'm not saying be so crazy to the point where we become obsolete because we just didn't move with time. But what I'm saying is we can't get so convenient with what the world has given us that we forget that God has blessed us with what we need on this earth well before any man started trying to create something to make it more convenient.
All right, I got it.
Yeah.
Anything, Tim?
No.
Final word, man. Belong to you. Go for it.
Hey, man, this is great. I'm grateful that you come allow me to call in, and man, this is amazing. Y'all are dope. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for calling.
All right. Whoa, that was something. That was something. Anybody else? Anybody else?
Get back on and see.
Get back on. Let's get back on and see if anybody else got something to say.
Let's see here. Oh. No more questions.
No more questions.
No. Good dialogue. Somebody said good dialogue. Nick.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You got it all out, too?
I mean, yeah, I'm good.
You got it all out? You got it all out?
I'm good. I'm actually fine.
You good?
Yep.
All right. You got a smile on your face?
I'm good.
You good?
Are you good?
Yeah, that's what I'm staying in.
Yeah, okay.
Well, yeah. The creature conference, the creature conference that we all enjoy. So it took me like 10 minutes just to find out where he was coming from. And where he was coming from was, what's the intent behind all this stuff? And eventually, y'all believe that all this stuff gonna blow up. Well, scripture said it too. All these things gonna blow up, and quite frankly, we all gonna be lost. We all going back to the Stone Age, and we all gonna be lost. I have, and there's so much I can say about that. And there's so much I can say. There's so much I can say about it. There is so much I can say about it. But again, the brother not on. He's not on anymore. And so there's so much I can say about it. And I don't want to use my platform and my final word as a word against what he said or what you're saying, or just because it's Pastor Anthony Flickers, it's all about what I'm saying, because it ain't. It's not. So I'll do my best to. You finished? You got anything else?
Yeah, I mean, it's a balanced approach.
Well, it's a balanced approach. So I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best, my darnest, my God-given best, to sort of bring to light all three perspectives.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Go for it.
I'm gonna do my if I do a good job, I do. If I don't, at least I tried.
Okay. Let's go.
At least I tried. So let's start with Anthony Fliggins. And this is gonna be Anthony. We're gonna go Anthony. We're gonna go. What's my name? A-J-T. So you last. So A-J and T. So Anthony first. Then we're gonna do Jermaine's point and then your point. And I'm gonna do my best in like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Jesus said, he's coming back on a cloud and every eye shall see. The only way I know the earth is not, I don't believe the earth is flat. Let's just say that. I believe it's round.
Okay.
In order for the whole world to see one man, you will have to have a system in place, like the internet, that allow us to see the world or see one thing at the same time.
Okay.
So with the internet, it allows the scriptures to be fulfilled. Because there is no way we can see. There is no way we can see. Somebody calling again? There is no way we can actually.
You mean say he won't be offended?
Oh no. Thanks, sir.
I sent it to the platform.
Yeah. So there is no way. This is Anthony Fliggins. There is no way that scripture could be fulfilled if there was no internet. There had to be a system that allow us to see one person in what I believe is a round world at the same time.
Okay.
Internet. So when the scripture said that, you see how. We didn't know how that could be 30 years ago. Because 30 years ago, you get the news now, I get the news an hour later. Now we can get the news around the world in less than 7 minutes.
Yeah.
That has never been done before. So something can happen in Tibet, in the crossroads of China.
Yes.
And we get it in 7 minutes. The whole world coming on a cloud, every eye shall see.
Okay.
I do believe there's some good and some bad to this. I do believe that.
I believe that.
Okay, that's Anthony Fliggins. I'm also believing that we are the ones who actually put the system together, and it's going to be that arbitrator, that person that stands in the middle, that person that says, let's see both sides of this thing so we can, and that's a group as well. Without that, we can't compromise and come to some kind of agreement as to what advances the world. I am for world advancement. I am, let you know right now, I am for world advancement. Yeah. Okay, so that's just Anthony Fliggins, and I'll just stay right there with my point. Okay. I'm not trying to bring anybody's point home. All I'm doing is citing the president. My president, yours, his, and yours. Jermaine, Jermaine the prophet, I believe that Jermaine was saying that scientists have an ungodly intent behind what's going on. That their intent is behind what's going on. And the proof is all the negativity that we see through these things. The GMO in the food. Feeding a lot of people, but it's also hurting a lot of people.
Right.
And when America catch a cold, African Americans catch the flu. So yes, I do believe it harms a certain group. I believe he is saying that, and in that sense, if more people are being harmed because a few people in power are actually greed and all these things like that are happening, then it's not godly and it's not going to end well. That's what I believe he's saying. I believe what you're saying is there's a masses and there is a minority. The masses want things a certain way, but once people from the masses join the minority and join a certain group, they then have a degree of separation and are out of the decision-making process. Hence, they are under the persuasion, or not the word persuasion. They are under the rulership, the guides, the influence of those who are actually in power. And if that's being said, the masses have to come together and say, this is going too fast, or this is going too far, or this is something we don't want. And if we band together, we can sort of bring some kind of healing to what's going on. And if not healing, bring some kind of the common ground, or to stop or if the world is coming to an end as we so see fit, then this is a way to sort of, if we can't stop the process, can we at least slow it down to make the world a better place? So that's what I think all three perspectives are. And so no right, no wrong, just want to, or there may be a right and a wrong. So you say, whoever's, somebody say I'm right, somebody say I'm wrong, somebody say you're right, you're wrong, somebody saying Jermaine is right, Jermaine is wrong. However it is, we're going to leave it there, but I just like the president. Tell me if I did good, to what I tried to, it just needs explain it.
I think you did good. And I don't think any of us are necessarily trying to call each other wrong without
I'm calling y'all wrong.
I'm not calling anybody necessarily wrong. I feel like whatever your perspective is.
But I respect you.
Yeah. I disagree to disagree.
Yeah.
But I understand. Yeah, I understand all three perspectives.
I'm not calling y'all wrong. Let me change that. I'm not calling you wrong. I'm changing that.
You just did it. Y'all heard it?
Yeah, I did it. I'm changing. I'm not calling you wrong. I'm just saying I disagree.
Okay.
I'm not calling nobody wrong. No, I can't do that and say I'm right. Because I
could. You had no problem calling me wrong.
Because I could be wrong. I could be wrong. All right, so that's it.
That's cool. Okay.
All right, we done.
It was a good way of bringing all of those three together.
God, that was like an hour. Jeez.
It was.
We was good at first, man. I don't know what was going on.
3 hours, 29 minutes.
Oh, my God.
Pause and play. Okay. You got any announcements?
Yes, LIBA, Love Investors Benefit Association. Love Investors Benefit Association.
Great job, Pastor.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Love Investors Benefit Association. Love Investors Benefit Association. A couple of years ago, the Lord gave me this so I can bless people who have an entrepreneurial spirit. And we have been doing great so far, thus far. This is our third year coming. Listen, we need donors. We need 150 donors. We got people coming aboard every day. Yes. We have rave reviews. People are loving it. People are coming aboard. We are meeting a bunch of great people. This is going to be some kind of year.
Yes.
This is going to be some kind of year. So I can't tell you everything, but we're going to let the secret out the bag next month. That's right. We are going to let the secret out the bag next month.
Y'all ready?
We got some people that's coming through that's going to celebrate with us.
Yes.
Listen, pastors, wives, all of you,
yes.
I need your help. We are asking everybody to be donors of $20 a month. That's all we're asking. We are asking $20 a month. Here's the good part. All the proceeds go to people who are actually getting their business started, starting a business, or in that earlier season of their lives,
yes.
where they have used all their funds to get started.
Yes.
We all know what that's like.
Yes.
And they need a little bit more to keep momentum. Y'all go to the website. Love Investors Benefit Association. The Lord lead us on my heart, and we're going to keep doing this, and let God be God. This is a part from the church, but this is a piece of the church.
Yeah.
This is something God gave Anthony Fliggins.
Mm-hmm.
This is something God laid on my heart. And we've been doing it so far. This work will become a great blessing in this city.
Definitely.
And DMV, and it's going to stretch. Yeah. So, hey, we're going to do this, y'all. So this year, number 3, the Bible says the faithful man, the faithful woman shall abound in the blessing. I do believe this. So let's move forward and let God be God and allow him to do what he's doing in our lives. And I think that's it. This Sunday, we still on the book of Job. We're still on the book of Job. So y'all come through this Sunday. We're still on the book of Job. And we're going to deal with for the next. So last week we've been dealing with the character of the accuser.
Mm-hmm.
The character of the accuser.
Yes.
The next point we're going to bring out, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to do the next 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to deal about relationships. And we're going to try to figure out, we're going to understand in scripture, we're going to bring down why the devil could not attack Job's wife. Is my microphone on? Ooh. Job went through a whole lot, but Job wasn't touched. Neither was his wife.
Yeah. Huh.
We're going to talk about
be
husbands and wives.
Uh-oh.
And relationships over the next 2 or 3 weeks. It's going to be good. Y'all got to buckle up again.
It's a lot.
Y'all got to buckle up again. Y'all preachers, y'all ministers, Dr. Jermaine. Please.
Doctor. Oh,
Please tell us.
He gonna shower the...
Please tell us, Doc. Please tell us.
Dr. Jermaine.
Please tell us. Please tell us. He family now.
Yeah.
Please tell us. let us know, during the trials and the suffering of Job, notice his livestock and his children and his body, but not his companion.
Wow. Wow.
Not his companion.
Not his companion.
That's
gonna be.
We gonna talk. We got 2-3 weeks to talk about this. What do you say?
I said that's gonna be so good.
That's gonna be, man. Why? I need
Dr. Jermaine.
I need my ministers. I need my ministers.
Wow.
I need my pastors, my
Covering.
bishops. I need all those people. What'd you say?
Covering.
Come on. I need my pastors, my bishops, my ministers, my evangelists, my church, my wife, my friends. Please explain to me. Search the scriptures. Search the scriptures. He had free reign to attack. He attacked Job's family, his children, all 10 of his children.
Wow.
But take note, he did not touch Job's wife. We're going to get it.
That's going to be crazy.
Can I bring one point out?
Please.
Just one point.
We with
This is going to be good. We're going to be good. I know it's late, y'all. I'm going to bring this last point out. You know that his wife asked, his wife asked him to curse God and die. But notice, she wanted him to die, but she never thought of the concept or never came up with the concept of leaving him.
Wow.
You leave, but I ain't leaving.
Wow.
Leave God, but I ain't leaving you.
Wow. 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 Yeah. She did not.
She did not. She never said, I'm out of here.
Whoa.
Stuff get tough.
Yeah.
Stuff get when the rubber meets the road.
Yeah.
When I should preach a sermon called "When the Going Gets Tough."
When the going gets tough, the tough gets going.
She said,
Well,
"You
she
get out of
didn't
here,"
get
but she said, "I ain't rolling.
No.
I'm not.
No.
I see what you're going through."
Yeah.
But we're gonna talk about her.
Wow. It's gonna be good.
We're gonna talk about her. We're gonna talk about Job's wife.
That's good.
2-3 weeks we're gonna talk about that. Yeah.
Let's go.
Man, I got another sermon. Do you know your companion?
Ooh. Somebody gonna get up and walk out like
yeah. Do you know your companion?
Oh.
When the Bible says she speaks, I'm building my case. I always build my case. When the Bible said you speak like a foolish woman, the word foolish woman it's a transliteration. It's not saying she speak like a foolish woman when she said curse God and die. He was saying you talk like a woman that slept with a lot of men. You just don't care about anything. Wow. That was the foolish woman.
Okay.
When you talk about a foolish woman, you talk like a loose woman. You just don't care.
Wow.
That's what the word foolish come from.
Okay.
The foolish woman wasn't talking about her ignorance. She wasn't. No, you talk like a woman that's just been out there that don't understand what I'm. Yeah, you talk like a foolish woman. Oh man, we don't even.
Oh my God.
Oh, we gonna buckle up, courts. I know it's Resurrection Sunday.
You know that?
Why would you know?
Why would you not understand? Like you just don't. You have no idea.
Come on.
You don't get it.
Come on.
Yeah.
So these next 2 weeks, maybe 3. I know I thought I missed March marriage.
You ain't. March divorce like that. Just jokes. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be good. Make sure you check it out on Court Vision.
Man, I've been praying. I said, God, open my mind, please.
Wow.
So I can deliver this word to your people.
Yes, Lord.
I've been praying, and I've been this word has been marinating for. I've been telling y'all how long we've been talking about this since like September.
Year. No. Yeah.
Yes, like September.
Before then,
I was telling y'all the story of Job, and I've just been muttering over. This is why the Bible said, meditate on me both day and night. It means to mutter. I've just been muttering
it's been like over
this.
a year.
Yeah, I've been talking like, y'all, we're going to deal with the story of Job, and we're going to unfold this thing in such a way. Y'all go back to our last 2 sermons, the character of the accuser. Yes.
Ooh.
All right.
It's gonna be all right.
Oh man.
Make sure y'all check it out on
this
Court
is gonna
Vision.
Be something. Lord,
Facebook
deliver me.
Listen.
He preaching to me too.
Yeah, that's good.
He put me on the altar.
Ooh, excellent. So what is it? It's on Court Vision. It'll also be on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. Great.
You can find it under Court Vision. Okay. You can search it. It'll be on here. We'll actually tag. We need to start tagging it on Pastor Anthony Says.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right, so
Also,
we
if you want to give we didn't give Libba stuff. So if you want to find out more information about Libba, and if you want to become a Love investor, visit the website www.joinlibba.com, and you can also give at $ for Cash App $join Libba, right?
Yes.
$ join Libba.
$join
You can
Libba.
go ahead and start sending your donations. $20. That's it. That's it.
A month.
A month.
For the rest of the year.
Excuse me. $20 a month.
For the rest of the year.
For the rest of the year.
Yep.
Become a Love investor today.
Yes.
Listen, this has been your spiritual podcast station. I think that was something.
That was some topic,
That
man.
was- that was-
Yeah.
that really
but
was.
at least we're thinking about the next generation.
Yeah, for sure.
May not
For
all
sure.
agree, but we at least thinking about
Thinking about-
tomorrow.
yeah.
And that's what leaders do.
Yes, exactly.
Think about tomorrow.
Yes, exactly. And putting it in the minds
Yes,
of our
and the
children.
people in our children. Yep,
Yes,
yep,
for
yep.
sure. For sure. Thank you all for tuning into this episode of Pastor Anthony Said. We are your spiritual podcast station, and we just want you to uncut, unblocked, and unscripted. This is the only place in the podcast universe giving you a balanced approach and a look at the other side. Everything from A to Z. Listen, this episode will be available to you on today, Tuesday. Every Tuesday, we have brand new episodes available on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and everywhere you can listen to podcasts. We love you, and thank you for loving us.